Hello, how's it going, everyone? I'm here with Isidafo as usual. Hopefully, you can
Hello,
hear
everyone.
us. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. We've had that issue before, so that's something.
Well, we're gonna assume you can hear us because, after all, we never have technical problems on this stream. Um, Never ever have technical problems on this
Nope,
stream.
would be the first time.
But good. It sounds like people can hear us. So good. Hopefully your Friday is going well. We're starting a little earlier than usual because we were hoping that we would be able to raid into EVC. So I'm seeing a couple questions about drops. We do not currently have drops on this stream. If people would like drops on this stream, then the people to ask would be the OTP devs, basically, because they get to decide who the affiliates are. But we are not currently an affiliate. Um, so, what does this pop up? All right. But what we do get to do is it means we get to go through all the different cards, and also the benefits of not being an affiliate are we are one of the only OOTP streams that is allowed to say bad things about members of the MLB union, although we don't anyway.
It's a very exciting possibility,
It
but
is a very exciting possibility.
we'll we'll save our slander for non-union members. I think.
Is there anybody other than Barry Bonds who's not in the union? I
That's a
know
good
Barry
question.
wasn't, but I wonder if he's actually the only one, or how did that work for the players like before they unionized? Like, you know, are we allowed to say bad things about the players from like the 1930s or whatever?
I don't know. I'm actually. I guess because the union must have the rights to some players who played before the union because they're licensed for games like this, but I don't know the specifics at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
really no
So
idea.
someone probably knows the answer to this. Uh,
Yeah,
huh.
no clue.
Yeah. Like I said, I know Bonds famously wasn't.
Yeah, Bonds definitely isn't, and I don't know if there's anyone else. I mean, maybe there's. It's not impossible, certainly.
Um,
Uh, Immortal Pee Wee or Huey Jennings is no an acceptable answer to that question?
yeah, yeah. Well, we will definitely get to that card. So,
Okay, this is a real Dodgers themed team question. I have Jackie Robinson, Sidney Montour at shortstop. Oh, Sheffield is. I don't like Sheffield. I mean, that has to be better than playing Sheffield with Pee Wee Reese, right?
I feel like in general dropping Sheffield's a good idea, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to play Sheffield. Are there really no other Dodger infielders though that are at
I
all
don't love
good?
Jackie at third because the problem is Jackie, really what makes that card work is that his bat is good for a second baseman.
Yeah, but I mean, it has to be better than Sheffield. Like anything's better than playing Sheffield.
Yeah.
Are there really no other Dodgers at all who played third base
Yeah,
other than
I
Chris
think the
Dickerson?
main lesson this week is that you should be running a Tigers themed team instead.
Apparently, yeah, we got a lot this week. There's not so many left now, but they're really good ones.
You say that.
Um, yeah,
I feel like the content creation may take that as a challenge.
it's possible. It's possible.
I don't know who are the best third basemen in Dodgers history though. Are there some that are obviously missing?
Well, it sounds like this EBC. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is anyone who played for the Dodgers, even if their card is not Dodgers. So but it is probably Beltray, I guess. But we don't have a good Beltray yet. I hope we get one at some point.
Wait, does the new Dick Allen play third? I
Yes.
actually don't like. I mean, well, you're willing to put anybody at third, right? I know
Yeah,
you're big
pretty
on
much.
like third base defense not existing.
I care about a little more in league to be fair, but yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. If this Dick Allen plays third, is that the answer?
Did he play for the Dodgers? I didn't know he played for the Dodgers.
I thought. Am I misremembering? Hold on. I love how we're 0 cards in and we're managing to get off topic here.
It says played 2 seasons for the Dodgers. Okay.
I could have. Yeah, okay. Dick Allen did play for the Dodgers, but he only played He played 155 games for the Dodgers. So if that's not enough, then it doesn't work. But otherwise, I think Dick Allen.
Yeah, or probably actually Dick Allen. Dick Allen at Robin's platoon. You could do, I guess. I mean, Allen is. Oh, probably play on.
Which reminds me that I really should buy this Dick Allen card.
Yeah, it's a good card, and it's very cheap right now because spotlights.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was saving all of my points to buy Dave Steve for the PTMS, and then yeah.
No luck.
No, but speaking of the PTMS, I see that we're up to a robust 69 viewers, which makes it
nice.
Yes, which makes it nice timing to issue our community challenge. Now, we will be offering 0 packs as a reward for this because, But we will still issue our community PTMS challenge. Let me pull this up real quick. Why am I failing to put a link in the chat?
Warpod Nightbot is going to be upset, I'm sure.
Let me try this again. Here you go.
There we go.
We have our PTMS prediction challenge. If anyone wants to take a shot at it, we've put the bracket up. I didn't do one for the PTMS draft tournament, just because. Yeah, I didn't put one up.
Randomness.
What?
Randomness.
Yeah, well, the problem is you really would have to actually look at how everybody drafted to feel like you could predict.
Yeah, that is also true.
But for the tournaments, we can do it. So like I said, we don't have any prizes to give away. Perhaps if someone wants to kind of take it over from us that has prizes to give away, we're fine with that as well. But we thought we'd at least put one up if anyone wants to take a shot at it. Yeah. But that's what the bracket looks like for the tournament tomorrow. Let's see. We'll also do an imperfect draft at some point, but maybe should we start looking at a few cards and then jump into the imperfect draft?
Do the 3 golds maybe or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll get things started and then we'll jump into an imperfect draft. Actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we take some ideas on the imperfect draft? We'll put a poll up, we'll do a few cards, and then we'll actually do the draft.
Sure. I mean, so yeah, we had our marbles last week. And I believe the winner's suggestion was to we had to take the first catcher available to us. And then I saw a very good suggestion yesterday in Kidney's Discord, which was to take position players kind of in order, catcher, first, second, third, etc.
Okay.
So I would propose a slight modification to that, which is that catcher, first, second, third, etc. down to DH have to be in strictly decreasing order of overall.
All right. How about just say 2 through 9 must be in. All right. Catcher through right field decreasing overall.
Yeah, strictly decreasing, so you can't have ties.
Okay. Or catcher through DH or through DH.
Sure, DH too. Sure, why not?
All right, catcher through DH, decreasing overalls. All right, I'm gonna give a second option.
You could for that, by the way, you can make different VR and VL lineups, but they both have to obviously adhere to the rule.
All right. All right. Second one, you must draft all of your relievers before your starters. That was the one I was going to suggest.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Uh, or maybe, or I guess let's say seven relievers before. How about seven relievers before starters
Seven
or something?
moves for yeah.
You know, what else? What else are we thinking? Any suggestions you want us to
Um,
add from chat, and then we can.
yeah, if anyone has stuff. Um,
Just reading the chat real
hmm,
quick.
trying to think if there's anything else that would be interesting.
Any other ideas someone wants to try? Uh,
Only AL or only NL cards?
oh,
Oh yeah, that could
I
be
like that.
interesting.
All right, I like that.
Well, the one last week was there was what was it? Only even numbered years, I think was the one last from last week.
Okay. All right.
That
Oh,
would
only
prohibit
over.
lives and FLs.
Maybe we should say only odd years then.
No, no, no. I think it's better to prohibit the lives and FLs. It makes it much more difficult.
All right. Only even numbered years. All right. We're gonna put those four up. We'll do. You know, we'll do a poll. We'll look at a few cards, and then we'll decide what we want.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So we got a poll up. And in the meantime, let's start taking a look at a few of these cards. So, all right. First off, we've got. Should we do these PTMS cards as well in here?
Yeah, why not?
All right. We've got Tommy Davis, and you know, not to spoil anything, but when Isidafo and I were going through like our PTMS builds and thinking about how to do it, one of the big things we both kept saying is, you know, could we just play Tommy Davis?
Yep.
uh,
I said I would be happy to give up my second Tommy Davis to have one right now. But just give him away for free. So, yeah, this card's really good. Um, just, I mean, the best left fielder in low gold, the best left fielder in gold, like playable, kind of up to low dime, like just phenomenal.
yeah, I mean, you know what I'm going to say about a card that has no eye, um, which is this one's so good you just got to play it, right?
Yeah, it's just so absurdly overstated that even, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's so many
um,
numbers on it.
so let me ask you the silly question. Uh, is this card one that you'd consider running at center with that 90 range? Because on the one hand, it's a little bit more of a verse left card, and you know, so there's Pearsall that you're often gonna play in that role. Um, you know, there's Blair. Is this
I
card good enough
consider
that you
it.
still play it in center? Because I was
I
looking at it and I don't think it's crazy to play it in center.
no, I don't either. I I think probably Walt Wilmot is the center fielder if you're gonna do something like that. But yeah, it doesn't seem crazy to play this in center. I mean, especially in low gold or something. Like no, no marbles yet, RDT.
We haven't done marbles yet, but we're trying to decide which imperfect draft we do, and then we're going to do. You're going to finish the gold cards and try an imperfect draft is the plan. Um, yeah, so this is an excellent card. As much as you know, I tend to hate these cards with no eye and ones that are splitty. I think this is just so overstated that it's still going to play. Um, and,
Yeah,
and
it's just
and
silly.
I actually do like that it's a card that has like discernible weaknesses. Uh, you know, I think I've said on the stream in the past that one of the things I really didn't like was where people, you know, was sort of this lazy approach to, you know, let's just overstat a card so much you don't have to think about it. Those are not interesting cards to play. Uh, this is an interesting card to play. It has strengths and it has weaknesses. Uh, at the moment, it's sort of a little bit overstated as well, but I think you know as the meta develops, this is going to be a card you actually have to make decisions on. Like I think my favorite, you know, of the like lower tier cards this cycle so far has probably been Jerry Pretty. Um, Not strongest, not even a card I've
Yeah.
played all the time, but it's been a card that since it came out, every time I built a roster, I kind of had to actually make a conscious decision. Do I want to play pretty? There are real trade-offs here. Is this card worth it?
Yeah, no, those cards are definitely. I definitely much prefer those as well. And yeah, probably eventually at some point this will get there, maybe. But I mean, yeah, right now it's just it has so many more numbers than the other 83s. So
Yeah, I'm just saying I think this is one where I really like the way it's designed as well. I think the goal was to
yeah,
both make the PTMS cards overstated, but then also, like, this is one where I think it's going to interact well with the other low golds in the future, where, it will be an advantage that, but not just an overwhelming, like, replace this card with, replace whatever you were going to run with Tommy
yeah,
Davis, but think about running him, but he comes at a cost.
yeah. I will say I definitely I like the change to give everyone who makes BTMS a reward, and to make it actually good. So this looks, yeah, really happy with this card.
Yeah. All right. So with
Um,
that in mind,
oh yeah, we could do marbles for which one of these four. I don't know how we do that though. But it
I
looks
think
like
I
they're
think
just
if
kind of
people want to
around
run
in there
marbles,
anyway.
I'm happy to run marbles later on. But I did want to, one of the things that Isidafo and I have been talking about is as much as we don't mind running long streams, there are a lot of other excellent streamers out there, and so we actually do have a goal of kind of getting through the cards in a reasonable amount of time and being able to raid into EVC. Uh,
We've never done it, but we'll
we've never,
try.
but well, that we're starting earlier with the goal of doing it one of these times.
Yeah, maybe one day we don't get 35 cards
And look, we're
at once.
we're we're 25 minutes in and we've almost rated one card, so we're doing
Yeah,
well.
we're
Um,
doing pretty well.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question on Davis is this good enough? Like, does this play up enough to get S plus right now?
yeah,
Probably not, but maybe.
yeah. Um, I will also say I do think that you want to grade the PTMS cards on a little bit of a curve, in that they're clearly supposed to be overpowered as a reward. So, like, if this were a fringe meta card, it would actually be a disaster essentially. Um,
Yeah, no, that's true.
so this is a card that's, I think, what it should be. Um, but it does mean that, by that standard, like, if this were a C or D, it would really be a failure. Um,
Uh,
so I think this is
oh
the
yeah,
sort of S tier card that it should be. Um, you know, is
yeah,
that is that about
yeah.
right?
No, yeah. I think this is a really, yeah, well designed card,
Yeah, but I think
and
that's the big thing. Is I actually don't think the S pluses are like the really well designed cards. I think the cards like this that have a, yeah.
yeah. Oh, I guess the other thing worth mentioning is there are going to be 128 of these, because it's 64 for each draft,
Yes,
for
that's right.
draft, and 64 for the traditional. So yeah, 128 copies of this, and then dividing by two for each subsequent PTMS reward.
Yes. Hold on. I seem to be missing the PTMS perfects in this list. Did I not get those for some
Uh,
reason?
uh,
Did I forget to copy those over? I probably
I
just forgot to
think
copy
I
those
put
over.
them in there. They were at the end, but I'm pretty sure I put them in
Yes,
there.
no, it's on me. I just forgot to copy them over. Better.
Ah, okay, fixed. Plus Louis Tiant.
Plus Louis Tiant, yes. And Louis Tiant's fun because I haven't even looked at that card yet. This will be my first time glimpsing it on stream. Is when we see it, and we'll get an immediate reaction.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, time for Gary Getty now after 25. So
All
20,
right,
25
we
minutes for
have, we
Gary
have
Getty.
made it to Gary Gaetti. Yeah, we've made it to Gary Gaetti. That's the good news. The bad news is we now have to discuss Gary Gaetti.
So
Okay, so I know what you're going to say. Wait. We should try what each other's going to say on this card, right?
okay,
All right. Should I go first for you?
go for it.
All right. What I think Isidafo is going to say about this card is he's really splitty, but the main problem with this card is his big value is third base defense, and third base defense is entirely worthless. So there's just no reason to run this card over the big bats that you can play at third, and there are some enormous bats at third in the gold meta. Did I get it right?
Pretty close. There's well, I guess I can do yours.
All right,
Or
sure.
I mean, I think what you're gonna say is not enough I versus right to play, and you like the defense, but it isn't enough VL because there aren't left-handed pitchers in gold.
We know each other way too well on this stream.
No, so actually, somewhat surprising. I think this card is sort of decent VL, but yeah, like same thing. Not enough left-handed pitchers to play a single position third baseman that only hits one way.
The other problem is I just think there are a lot of much cheaper cards that are now available.
Yeah.
I mean, even like one that, you know, we have heard on an official stream recently that one of the big bits of value for Bresnahan is he plays four positions.
Well, I like that he plays third. I've used that. I like he
I
plays
know I
first.
do like that he plays third.
It's sort of funny because I use the first and third in modern. And I've used the catcher in dead ball stuff. So I've used three of the positions in different tournaments. I never used the center field is pointless. I never used
The
it.
only time I've used first is I've drafted this card and then gotten two excellent catchers and never quite got a first baseman.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've
Um,
used it. I think to like some backup kind of stuff. Like if I'm trying to protect Votto from left-handed pitching in gold, then I can have rest in hand backup first, backup Hodges instead of Votto or whatever. Like pretty niche kind of stuff.
yeah, the problem is just freehand's so good now that you just
Oh
freehand's
no, he's
great,
never playing
Hodges is
catcher over
great, and
freehand.
once Hodges is out, you just never play him there.
Yeah. No,
You're
he's
selling
not good.
Gaetti off one of your theme teams. Can you talk him up until he sells? Okay, so let's see. What is the
Um,
nicest thing we can say about Gary Gaetti?
if we replace if all the right-handed pitchers decide to throw out their left hands instead, then I think it's a decent card.
And if like Colson Montgomery didn't exist,
But no, it's okay if they're all throwing out their left hands. Then Colson Montgomery isn't so great anymore.
there's also that Moncada. Or I guess you don't like third base defense.
I want to play Makata at second, but if anywhere, then I'm just not playing Makata at the moment. Um,
You'd run George Carr. Um,
no, I mean, the Gaetti, like there is a world if there would be a meta where this card might be kind of something, but the current one, it's just not.
What do you think? Because I mean, even if you make them all left-handed, what are you actually going to run if everybody's left-handed?
I think you play this at third then if everyone's left-handed. Actually,
So my model, which believes in third base defense, would in fact play this at third if everybody's left-handed.
yeah, mine would too. But
Um,
like, actually, everyone has to be left-handed because right-handed he is like not even in the realm of anything. Like, it would rather play a whole bunch of
part of
players who
that's
can't play
also
third
because
instead.
I'd play Jimmy Dykes at second.
I would play Edgardo Alfonso at second, actually. Like, if it were all lefties, my infield would be Alfonso, Gaetti, Larkin.
The problem is I feel like if everyone's lefty, maybe you just play Chipper.
I don't actually like Chipper as much
I mean,
as this one at
117
third.
power, 99 I.
Yeah, he's a better hitter, I guess, but you can play him at TH too, and then I guess yeah, you can play him at TH 100. No, Pence can play because you have Clemente. So yeah, maybe Chipper's just nowhere, actually. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we don't have all lefties, and I don't think we'll ever go back to that. So
No.
yeah, yeah,
No.
you stop asking those questions. It clearly derails the stream.
Exactly. Yes, we have to convince chat to sit here in complete silence. It always makes for a
Yeah,
better stream that way.
I've heard echo chambers are great. So
That that is the official line, isn't it? Um,
all right, yeah, Frank Killen,
all
let's
right. Well,
go.
we should give
Gaetti's
Gary
it out.
Gaetti a card. Actually,
Gaetti's it
a
out.
grade.
Let's go.
Uh,
Actually, it's probably not that. It's probably a D because it
do
does
you
have.
bump him to a D because he's so good versus lefties?
I
Like, is
think so.
there?
there is a like it's okay if there's a high gold floor cap and it costs 1 point and you're platooning him. There's a world.
Okay, actually, how about this? If he's that good versus lefties, does he play? How much did he play down in dead ball? Where if you can platoon every position, are you now playing
He
him?
doesn't. No.
I guess he just play. The
Dead ball
problem is he
anymore.
plays down too much because the power kills him, right?
Yeah, the power just goes away. No. There's a world if there's a high gold floor and you're trying to platoon third base with like an 86 and too close to the floor cards. Then okay, maybe. Like maybe you can run this and like
The
Kobe
problem is
Mayo
if
or
you're giving
something.
too restrictive conditions that don't exist and calling it a maybe, that's not really justification for a card.
No, that is fair enough.
It probably is an F then, isn't it?
Probably an F.
It's
It's somewhere between an F and a D, I guess.
let's
And
give
a
it
D minus.
let's give it a D minus.
D minus, yeah.
All right, Frank Killen. So I will say I was a little bit surprised. My model actually likes this card as a pure lefty specialist a little bit.
Well, I like this card a lot better. I think this is actually a viable starter in gold, which I was shocked to see. Like,
In open gold.
yeah, I mean, eyeballing, I like normally when they release PTCS, PTMS cards, just sort of out of more curiosity than anything else, I go and just sort of punch him in manually. I didn't bother with killing this time because I was like, this card's just horrible. I'm never gonna play it. And then when the database came out and I actually did look at him, it's like, oh, this is kind of okay, which is sort of weird.
No, look, I think just as kind of early in the season, we're sort of making the point that like pitcher BABIP feels like everything in this meta. I think the point we've sort of been making all along is it's not pitcher BABIP alone. Rather, the issue is that pitcher BABIP is the most efficient thing to bump for a given power level. So that, if you basically were to increase the power of a card in whatever costs you like 1 point of overall, increasing pitcher BABIP is by far the most efficient way to do
Yeah,
it.
no, absolutely.
And the shorthand for that is you should just look for cards that have high pitcher BABIP, because unless a card is insanely overstated, it can't play with lower pitcher BABIP. The trade-offs are just too
Right.
bad.
Yeah,
It's
this one is
the
kind of
same
insanely
reason that I sort of
overspent.
look at Avoid K and like a quick screen is like low Avoid K is good because that means the useful stats are being bumped instead. This is a card that's intentionally very overstated because that's the way the PTMS cards are put together. And because it's so overstated, it can get away with the low pitcher BABIP and I think still be viable. But it's an awful shape, and that means its survival in the meta is going to be a lot shorter than it would be if it had like a sensible shape.
Yeah, I mean, so I think what I will end up doing if I do get one of these is I'm running 5 stars right now. I don't have this really as better than the sort of back end of that rotation, just kind of equal. So I'll probably just put this in the bullpen and keep my 5 starters. But yeah, it's playable, which I was sort of surprised by actually.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that it does end up being vaguely playable. By the way, if anyone's interested in taking a shot at PTMS predictions, where was that link? Had the link a moment ago. But you can make a prediction here. See what
Yep.
your take is on who's going to advance through the bracket. Who did you draw? Did you get a good draw in this thing?
I'm not sure what is it good or bad. I'm playing CF Genesis in the first round.
That's going to be a good build. I mean, I guess most of the teams in here should have pretty good
Yeah,
builds.
I
but-
don't. There's other than probably a handful of teams that like play mostly iron or bronze or silver or whatever. I expect everyone will have pretty competitive stuff. So yeah, it probably doesn't matter a huge amount who exactly you're playing.
Um, Anyway, yeah. So where does that leave Killen? Yeah, I do think he's viable. I think this is a much weaker card than what we were hoping for a PTMS reward, but it is viable at the moment it's released.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing is this is a dead ball card that doesn't play dead ball because the PVAB is super low, so that's a kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not. That's true.
Um,
It doesn't play dead ball.
so I don't know. It's probably like a C.
Sure, that's fair. And I think if we were grading it on like a PTMS curve, then
Yeah,
yeah.
then it gets enough.
All right. Um, Stratico saying, "Hey, that's me." Wait a minute, aren't you like one of the top seeds in there? Uh, you're
Yeah,
winning. Yeah,
yeah,
Stratico's winning the whole thing. Uh,
yeah. That's always a chance. The Honus, and I mean, you're perfectly right now. It's not like there's a team can't be that bad.
yep. Um, I can't help but feel like there's a clock on us today. um, yes. Oh, I see. You're the one that sold the Hannes. Yeah, you must have got quite a bit for Hannes.
Yeah, I
Um,
think all the Honus sales are about 5 mil, so that's a fair
we're gonna
chunk.
have a little discussion on Hannes later because slight spoiler. But one of the cards we're gonna discuss in the next few. Isidafo and I had a long discussion over whether I should play that card over Hannes in the PTMS.
Or
No, we actually
uh,
did.
yeah, we did. Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Should we do one more into our imperfect draft, and then we'll be in speed mode because we'll be trying to catch up?
sure.
Hanley? No, it was
I
Not Hanley.
I did bring up Hanley at some point actually, but uh, kind of actually for similar reasons.
Yes. So let's talk about Hack. Hack's a good one to talk about, and then we'll go. Um, yeah. So this is a really good card.
Yeah, this is Mark McGuire's bat, and now he's allowed to play in the outfield. And his
Well,
defense, this is like the best Tech Wilson defense we've ever had.
but also you
So
say it's Mark McGuire's bat. I don't think. I think that's actually underselling it. Let me put up the comparison for everyone. Um, it looks like Mark McGuire's bat, but there's actually a big difference. This is Mark McGuire's bat with 10 points of BABIP and like 30 points of gap power.
yeah, I guess the VL is pretty similar, and the VR Hack Wilson's a good deal better. That's fair.
But even the VL, that gap power is worth quite a bit. Like I know both of our models missed that on Curtis Mead earlier in the year. Just like
Yeah, I mean
quite how valuable all that gap was.
he is losing some. My guess is the VL bats are pretty similar. I mean, like bit more BABIP, bit more I, with the gap power. But the VR, yeah, that's true. The VR looks a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is, any tournament where you've been like in a cap running McGuire at DH. I think for 1 point it's an automatic that you upgrade to Hack, and Hack can play outfield. Okay, he's not a good outfielder. Um,
Yeah, I think he's fine in left. I
you
don't think
know,
he's terrible.
he's tolerable in left, and look, we have had metas earlier in the cycle where we were running really poor defensive center fielders. So maybe you
Yeah,
could
it's
do
not a
that.
center fielder. I don't. I
I
think
mean,
you're just playing Jim
well, he's as
Edmonds.
good of a center fielder as Chu, right?
Yeah, but I
Or
mean,
he's better than Gorman Thomas.
I just want to play Jim Edmonds in low diamond. I mean, Jim Edmonds is so much better as a center fielder than this.
Yeah, I think that's
Uh,
right. I'm just thinking, if there's a scenario where you just want to get bats in the lineup, like 1998 kind of tournament where everyone's just going to hit home runs anyway.
I'm
Maybe you're
yeah,
willing to
I
go
don't
light
know.
on defense. Do you get one more bat in the lineup?
I'm pretty happy to just stick him in left most places, but I think center is probably a bit too far.
That's fair. Um, And as much as I love the card, I'm gonna run him in every diamond cap kind of thing. But I don't think I'm running him in full diamond because I think there's still just a few too many really big bats.
Well, especially we got another one like an enormous bat for a diamond. Well, two, I guess, with the PTMS.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But I think in low diamond, this is just an absolutely excellent bat. Uh, he's also kind of funny in that he plays sort of in the wrong era. So he's not a good
yes,
early
that is
era.
true.
So Hack is not a good early era card, despite being from that
Earlier,
collection. This is really a modern era card, the way
yeah,
you want to run him.
that is true.
But I still really like
Yeah,
the card.
yeah, EVC. Yeah, spoilers, but I do think Eric Davis is a better card than Hack Wilson.
Yeah, I think Eric Davis is quite good.
Yeah.
So what do you think here? I
So
mean,
what is that?
I feel like it's at least an A tier card. It's crushing things that have been key meta cards.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe it's not quite an S if it doesn't play up a level, but it's about as close as you can get without playing up a level.
yeah, it's probably like an A plus, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Why don't we give it an A plus? And maybe that's a good one to go to an imperfect draft on. Should we?
Sure. Yeah, the winner I think was the reliever.
All right. So
Reliever.
if we want to do an imperfect draft, our challenge is you must draft. What do we say? 7 relievers
7
before
relievers.
you draft a starter. Let me
Now,
just,
are you allowed to draft starting pitchers and use them as relievers, or it have to be actually listed as reliever?
that's a good question. Let's.
I like this. The EVC is now he's timing all our only 4 minutes on Hack. That's pretty good.
Ooh. You know what we could do? Well, I guess we couldn't. We can't do this in the dead ball one because it's. I was gonna say we should do the dead ball one.
No, we can't do the reliever.
But
thing,
we
no.
can't do the reliever thing in the dead ball one, right?
No, we can't do the reliever thing in one. That's true.
There's one that's 8 of 16 or 15 out of 32. I better go to the other account that actually has a slot.
Two players' first name start with Charles isidafo. Yeah, how many letters is that? Total 7.
That's a lot of letters, though.
8. Well, there's some overlap. 9,
Yeah.
10, 11 letters. Okay, and there's some not. Like there's no T. There's no.
We can throw that on the
R.
next one.
There's an
Let's.
Yeah.
What should we do? Should we do? All right. So there's a 5 out of 16 dead ball. There's an 8 out of 16. There's a 15 out of 32. Which one do we want to jump in?
We can't do dead ball with the reliever business.
All right. Should we jump in the 15 out of 32?
Sure, I'm fine with either one.
All right. Let's jump in the 15 out of 32. 15 teams are gonna get an advantage, but we're a pretty sharp crowd, so.
Yeah, this one is going to be tough though.
Well, I've got an evil plan for it. Are we doing ours together, or are we doing them separate?
Yeah, we can do it together. Sure,
All
why
right.
not?
So here's my proposed evil plan. So again, all right. So it is ID 472. So here is my evil plan. Tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
I think we should try, the idea we've discussed in the past of just draft hitters.
Okay.
Basically,
so
get
only
around this by essentially only drafting hitters and just entirely punting on pitching.
Okay. Well, yeah, we do need to figure out. Can you draft a starting pitcher and then put him in the bullpen if it's one of the first 7? Is that allowed? Or they have to be actually listed reliever?
I think I think that okay. I would say has to. What if we say has to be listed reliever, but you're allowed to run a reliever as a starting pitcher?
Fair enough. Okay.
Is that fair?
7. Yeah, 7 cards listed as reliever, but you
Right.
can use them
Yeah.
as you like.
Relief pitcher includes closer,
Yeah.
but cannot
Yeah.
be listed as starter. And I guess you are allowed to run two-way players as starters as well, right?
Yeah, Monty Ward would be nice.
All right.
Monty
Let's
Ward
see
is
what we
nice in
get.
every draft format.
I will say I don't know if you saw the draft that I did on stream with Lap yesterday, but that might be the roughest draft I've ever done.
Mm.
Okay. Speaking of
Yeah,
rough
isn't bad.
drafts, I mean, so we're not allowed to draft Haddix. We are allowed to draft Plesac, and we shouldn't, but we are allowed to
I
draft him.
think, yeah, that doesn't seem. I think we should just take Gwyn. Gwyn is at least. I mean, is it the best card for sure?
You're not a Buck Ewing fan, huh? All right, so I think
I
we
mean,
take
Buck Ewing's
Gwyn.
okay, but yeah, he's not as good.
So we're thinking, yeah, we're thinking basically we just draft hitting. I don't see a
Yeah,
reason. If Plesac had like 30 stamina, we'd talk, I guess. But all
yeah.
right, Gwyn.
No, EVC. I haven't noticed those firing. They fired a little slower, but not like anything crazy different.
I haven't really been playing him, so yeah. I assume this is just Biz. Again, not allowed to draft
Uh,
Lemon.
well, Wisconsin is
Sisto's worth a
good
look.
too. Yeah,
The nice thing about Biz
it probably
is
is
our
Biz
pitching
though.
staff is going to need a lot of help.
Yeah, that's true. And he can play lots of positions. All right, yeah, I think that's fine.
I think it's Biz. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, he's basically a better card than the Buck Ewing we had in round one. So
Yes. And then well, okay. Resnahan is also excellent.
I mean, we can move Biz. We can play Biz elsewhere.
I just
Bresnahan is
think
by
you
far
just
the
take the
best
best
card here.
card, right? You just take Bresnahan.
So Biz is gonna play what? Some other in I guess some other position. Okay, that's fine. We'll figure it out.
All right. Again, if anyone's interested in this, this is ID 472, and the imperfect draft rule is you must draft 7 players listed as relievers of some type before you can draft anybody listed as a starter.
Yep.
So we could draft Jeff Montgomery, but Bresnahan's just too good.
Yeah. Yeah, Bresnahan's too good. Bresnahan's just the best card, but
All right. Cannot draft Baldwin. We
I want
actually
to
are
take
not
William
allowed to
Baldwin.
draft Jakey May, even though he's really not a starter.
He's also horrid.
We can draft Ryan Presley. Um,
Uh, this is the only good card here is Lady Baldwin.
well, we got the bad Jackie Robinson, the one unplayable Robinson.
Yeah, that Robinson is really bad though. That
Dewey Creasy.
Lee Creasy's also pretty bad. Really the only good card here is Baldwin.
Okay,
The only
is
decent
the
card is
answer that we
Baldwin.
should just be taking 2 of the relievers and like clearing relievers out of the way?
Probably. I mean, these cards are so bad. Like I don't. Creasy and Robinson are not better than Silvers.
What are you thinking? What do you think here?
Yeah, maybe we do just take Pistano and Presley. Just get them out of the way.
Just I love that we are drafting a live gold reliever in round 4.
I mean, we got nothing. This is terrible. I guess Riley Green is kind of okay live, but
I think Creasy would be the best real option here. That's not saying
he's
much.
really bad though. I mean, all these position players are
All
not
right,
good.
we're drafting live Ryan Presley.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is a very imperfect draft.
That's for sure. I mean, he's a decent live, I guess.
All right, cannot draft Tigera. Okay. I think we got to take Koji, right?
He's definitely good. I kind of want to take McGee and Bagwell, but
Or Jimenez.
or
I like
Jimenez. Yeah.
Jimenez.
Yes, Gabagool. You can start a player listed
Yeah,
as
you can start a
RP.
player listed as reliever. You can also start a player listed as a position player. Uh, but you cannot draft anybody listed as starter until you've drafted 7 non-starting pitchers.
Yep.
I'm thinking Jimenez and Koji. What do you think?
I think I would take McGee over Jimenez if we're gonna take Koji, but I'm not sure that's right. I think maybe we're supposed to just take 2 position players still.
Koji's so good though.
He is good, but yeah, maybe I don't know. Well, what are the rules if we get to like the diamond, the bronze round, and we can we take the seventh reliever at the same time as the starter?
Let's say yes. Yeah, let's say if it's in the same round, you got to click the seventh reliever before you click the seventh starter. How about we'll say
Okay.
it that way?
Okay, that makes it a little bit better then.
All right, Jimenez or McGee.
I kind of want to take them both, in all honesty.
All right, chat. What do you think? Jimenez, McGee, Koji. Which two should we go with?
I mean, the card I really want to take is Teddy Higuera, but it's not allowed.
Not if we want to play him as a pitcher. I think chat would let us play him like a DH.
He probably has like 10 hitting rating, so
Did he? Hold on, he played in the NL, right?
he did. I think at some
Okay,
point.
but he still
I mean,
doesn't hit.
that's an AL card.
Is that an AL card? Because remember, the Brewers were an NL team.
I'm pretty sure they were AL in this time
I thought.
period. I'm not 100% sure when they moved, honestly. So
I think you're right. I think they were still in the AL then.
yeah, I don't remember the exact year, but
All right, we got to make a decision here. All right, I'm gonna say Koji, and I'll let you decide which of the other two you want.
I think I want McGee.
All right.
Especially because Biz is playing in one of the infield positions.
Well,
So.
we continue to be offered really good quality starting pitching, and not much else.
Yeah, this round is
So I guess we're taking
pretty
Mike
bad.
Minor because
Bruiser's in 98. Okay, thank you.
we're taking Mike Minor, right?
Actually, can we start him? He has a lot of stamina, doesn't he? How many pitches does he have?
23 stamina, 5 pitches.
Not terrible. Could think about it.
And then, I mean, we have like several starters I'd be happy to take if we could. Lawton, just to play Lawton or Jethro, I guess.
Yeah, I don't hate Lawton. Lawton has at least a lot of defense.
All right. We're just passing up all the good pitching here.
Yeah, well, we can't take it. It's,
No,
unfortunate.
this is not a great round.
Carew is fine. He can play first.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we can't really take any of the pitchers. I mean, Colabello has interesting splits. That's the best I can say for him.
Garcia Parra plays short and third.
He doesn't really
Do you
play
have a-
short. He doesn't really play short.
Nah, he doesn't really, but he's allowed to stand at it.
Luciano also doesn't play short.
We don't. We haven't. We don't. Oh, we could take Moran or Clevenger.
Zavala?
I think I'm pretty sure that's the wild card. It's not great. No, no. That's we have already 3 outfielders though.
Run
Busby's better anyway.
Clevenger is a specialist.
Maybe yeah. That looks okay as a specialist. I've seen worse.
All right, run Clevenger just to try to clear our relief pitching requirements.
Yeah, that's fine. I think.
Okay. Wow. We're taking Joe's start. I guess it's not a good.
Pretty sure that card is not great, but
Okay, Chi-Chi's fine.
yeah. How many relievers are we up to now? This is our 6th.
Yeah. Okay. How about we just take Chi-Chi and Spiess? Oh, but Spiess is so.
Beast is really bad.
Is
Cano?
Maybe it's Cano. All right. I think we take Chi-Chi.
Yeah,
We
Cano's
take
pretty
Cano, and we've now like cleared our requirements, and we're
Yeah.
allowed to draft anything we want. Is that good?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, we are now allowed to draft starting pitchers in round 9. We will now proceed to be offered no starting pitchers. Okay, well, we're taking Eddie Matthews, we're taking Juan Gonzalez, and that's 2, right?
So Matthews is gonna play first and Biz is gonna play third. Then I guess that seems fine.
Yeah, sure.
Do we ever take Ozzie Smith?
Over Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Gonzalez only plays right, huh? I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
I mean, we have a lot of flexibility. Like Lawton and McGee both play all three, but
Maybe Gonzalez is a
oh, I forgot we have
DH.
Carew. I forgot we have Carew. That's a
Tourney
very good
number.
point.
Sorry, the tourney number is ID 472.
Carew's gonna have to play second, I think.
Right. So and you must take 7 relievers before any starting pitcher. That's the restriction. So we have now cleared that. We're allowed to take starters. We just
Didn't have one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe is it Ozzy?
Well,
I think there are enough good range shortstops later on that we'll find one.
okay. I mean, these are definitely the two best cards, but
I think just take the 2 best cards. Does that sound good?
yeah, fine with me.
And now we need some bronze starters, like desperately.
Let's go, Giolito.
Well,
Uh,
okay. We did run into an even higher range shortstop.
that bat is ugly, but yeah, we did.
I mean, this is a rough round.
Does Glenn Beckert play more than one position?
No, I mean, does 0 count?
I think maybe we just take Higashioka because the round is so bad. Because like we don't really have 2 catchers. Yes, you can take 2-way players if they're not listed as starting pitchers. So like Monty Ward is fine.
Yeah, Monty Ward's great. And you can run a reliever as a starter, but it has to say. I like how now we're getting all the relievers and we're getting no starters in the bronze rounds.
Yeah, we really are.
All
I mean,
right.
Ray King is really good.
I think we're taking Ray King. Probably
Yeah.
it's. I mean, this is not as good as the Iron Clemente, but it's the other playable card here.
Does Stevenson or Matchett have any stamina?
Well, okay, Matchett has 42 stamina, but only 2 pitches.
Uh,
The thing is, we currently have no starter of
Yeah,
any
we'll
sort.
see.
So I think, and this is going to be our 8th like relief arm.
we have that the Mike Minor who's sort of okay, right?
Yeah, but he has 23 stamina.
Oh, that's fine. That's plenty. Who's ever needed more than that?
Matchett does play right.
Matchett is so bad though.
I'm thinking it's Clemente, and
Yeah,
Robert,
Clemente
and
is
then you've
good.
got Robert Stevenson.
Stevenson's also really bad, I think.
It's
Oh,
Clemente.
no, he's
It's
better.
Clemente. It's
Yeah, it's probably
Clemente. Yeah.
Clemente.
All right.
Just gotta hope for.
So here we
starters
go.
now.
2 rounds to go. We have no starting pitchers. This is going fine. We got one
Saul
this
Rodovin.
round.
All right,
We got,
Rodovin is actually pretty
he's good, and we got it. And we got a Joey. We have got the best Joey Gallo available.
We did get Gallo.
I think just take Gallo, right? I mean,
So
we actually
need
have
4
room to
starting
play him.
pitchers. We do, but we need. Well, no, because Mackey is not actually a catcher. Mackey is going to be at some other position.
Yeah, that's fine. We just take 4 starting pitchers in the iron round. And, what's the worst that could happen?
It'll be fine.
How many starters are there offered in a draft, actually? Because we're at 24 now.
26. 26.
26. So we're in trouble.
It's fine. Yeah, exactly. Kieschnick.
Okay, well, McGinnity has 102 stamina, which I am
McGinnity's
thrilled to
actually
see.
pretty good.
And Sherrod has 91. Okay, so we got 2 really high stamina starters.
Great. Do any of these live relievers have any stamina at all?
20, 19, 27.
Great. He's a starter.
That's right. This is not the pitcher BABIP meta. This is the do you have any stamina meta.
Yeah. So our starters are a bronze, 2 irons, a live reliever, and a gold reliever. Okay, we probably should take 13 pitchers.
I do remember starting Betancourt, in gold a couple cycles ago and making that work somehow.
We probably should take 4 pitchers here, right? Because 13, so we don't have enough stamina to do 12.
You think we're gonna have stamina problems just because we drafted nothing but relievers, huh?
Potentially.
All right. It's probably
So I don't know which one of
no,
these
probably
is.
is Austin Cox actually.
No, we have to take Cox. Cox is one of our starters.
Oh well, okay, that's right.
No, we
Cox
have
is a
to take
starter.
Cox.
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we got these four, and then we have no backup
In rain.
infielder.
Oh, we do back infielder.
So it's
Cabrera.
Alperman is
Probably
second
Cabrera.
short, and Cabrera is second
Wait, no, we
third.
have only one player who can play. Does Bismacky play shortstop? Because if not, we only have one player who can play shortstop.
Let's check. Bismacky does, but I think we still want the second short
Yeah,
combination.
probably yeah.
So we take
And
Whitey
Alperman's a
Alperman.
good
So we
guy,
get our
but
40 overall. All right. This is an imperfect draft. Let's just
that is for
I
sure.
mean, we were aiming for an imperfect draft, and boy, do we
Okay,
get one.
I'm gonna guess this was a typo. Don't cut the block jacket, but that's pretty funny.
No, man. That is a good typo. Sorry, Wino. The draft is 472, and the imperfect rule is we must take 7 relievers before any starting pitcher. Okay, so Raghavan, McGinnity, Sherritt.
Minor should probably be up higher someplace, I guess.
Okay, is there anything wrong with starting Koji?
He has 12 stamina.
It's plenty. I mean,
Yeah,
look.
he's not going to recover. I mean, Minor actually has a chance to recover. Koji will not recover.
Yeah, but we need 5 starters. Wait, do we need 5 starters? Actually, okay. This is if there were ever a situation to run 4 starters. This is it, right?
Can we try one SPing this thing? Just Ragovin?
Ooh. Not till it fires.
Yeah, but
Okay, no, I think we actually have 3 starters we're okay with.
okay, so we can 3 SP it. That works too. You still have to change it to 3-man rotation, otherwise strict order will mess up. But make sure you got aggressive tiredness hook on. That's.
Yes. We definitely need an aggressive tiredness hook. This is going to be time for some creative managing. Bullpen here's good.
So we should change to strict order for sure.
Yes, strict order. Allow starting
And then
pitchers in relief probably is a no.
No, we're gonna have to go in once it fires to change to 3 because it won't work with 4. But that's okay.
Okay. Now the good news is our lineup is legitimately going to be like excellent.
Yeah, we should. Well, that's true.
Like we're actually
Should be
platooning
fun.
Eddie Matthews is what they want us to do.
Mm, yeah, I guess so.
All right. I've seen worse. I mean, not often, but you know,
Yeah.
I have
Wait,
in
it's
fact.
platooning Eddie Matthews. It's platooning Eddie Matthews the wrong way though. Hold on.
Wait, did it? Let's just wait for it to fire and then we'll.
Okay. Yeah, we have to go and fix the starting pitching.
Okay. And in the meantime, if anyone's interested, you can also put in your PTMS predictions. You know, if anyone wants to take a shot at it, we've already got 6 predictions in there. I'm curious who everybody thinks is the favorite.
I have no idea. Actually, I'm not sure there is really a clear favorite. It's actually, I think, a pretty good format in terms of not letting like just tons of cards run away with the thing. So
I'm going to put in a prediction, but I clearly have to predict the 2 of us face in the finals because how could I not?
that'd be fun. I'd take that.
You can win 2 Pedros.
It's true. I could theoretically win two Pedros.
Have you done
That
your draft yet?
I have not. I still need to try to. The environment I think will be a little bit different. Actually, the it's sort of interesting. The draft will have more total overall than the traditional, but the players will be slightly worse for like per overall.
Yeah, you went with Midgar to win. Midgar is good. Actually, I think I just faced him. We just played a 7-game series in the finals of one of the weeklies today. Uh,
Yeah, no, it definitely consistently has really strong teams.
and I outlucked him, but his build was definitely better. I had the advantage of coming in off like 3 extra days rest, and that was
Yeah,
just
that's
barely enough to get me over the line in a cap. But his build was definitely stronger. Um,
yes. Hello, Jaylee Bay.
oh hey. So okay, so in that case, we'll ask you for a quote. What is your response to being named the favorite in this tournament tomorrow?
By one person.
We need some bulletin
I,
board. We need some bulletin board material for who are you facing in the first round? Let me see who you're facing in the first round. It's in the bracket. We need some bulletin board material for the Winnipeg Blue Jays.
well, that should be a good series.
Who's their manager? I see them a bunch. I don't remember who
It
runs them.
is Shift 3D, I believe.
Okay, that I've definitely seen. Yeah, I've definitely seen shifted around a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Shifted. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's what that is.
I assume
I
that is,
never
yeah.
figured that out before. Yeah, I never just never just never put that together somehow. But that makes a lot more sense.
um, I mean, it's funny because this is, normally the seeded brackets are really meaningless in these because the goal is actually to just sneak in so that you use your resources somewhere else. Um,
Yeah.
so, I mean, the teams at the very top probably are strong in most of the PTCS formats, but then the other strong ones are like spread out, usually in the bottom half somewhere. Uh, and this one, it actually feels like, when I was thinking about the predictions, a lot of times the higher seed is the stronger team.
Yeah, I mean it's like I think, the PTMS points probably overemphasize wins a bit, so there's going to be some like just spiking, but yeah, for the most part I think it did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Um,
So it is still funny to me that the jump from which one is it? I think it's making the quarterfinals to making the semifinals is worth more points than jumping from making the semifinals to losing in the finals. Which is a
that's
little
fair.
weird, but whatever.
Um,
70 minutes, 4 cards. Yeah. All right, we probably should get back on topic.
all right.
Thanks for
Well,
the
we did
reminder.
say we were going to raid EVC in an hour, right? No, we didn't say an hour.
Boy,
We
oh
said we
boy.
were going to raid into EVC. Uh, so, if anyone wants to give some bulletin board material, I am playing the Pronouncers of Nonsense, and I'm trying to remember because I've definitely seen them. You know, definitely seen them. Is that the one that was the NAFO fellas until
Yes,
recently?
yes, yes. Until that name was not permitted any longer.
Well, see, I have a big advantage, which is if they ever decide that my name is illegal, you know, I'm still on brand.
True. That's true. Yeah,
Uh,
that is pretty nice.
that's good. That's a good guy. When they when they sweep us in the first round, I'll at least feel good about cheering them on afterward.
Exactly.
I feel like there are a few teams in the bracket that like are more rivals of ours that I don't want to lose to, but there's a lot of just fun people in the bracket, or
I
where I
generally,
wouldn't
I
feel
mean,
too bad if they.
really the only ones that annoy me losing is when I lose to a build that really is doing stuff that I think is just sort of like badly wrong. But I don't think there'll be a lot of that, if any, in this. So
Yep. No,
Uh, yeah,
there are one or two teams that I think I would be a little upset if I lose to, but I did not end up in their part of the bracket. So if I end up facing them, it means that I've done pretty well.
fair
Um,
enough. Yeah, I agree. It would be fun if we had more uh, kind of long, like skill testing stuff. Like, I mean, Swiss is something that's been sort of batted around a bunch, so I think would definitely be an improvement for something like
well,
this.
I mean, the whole community loves double round
Um,
robins.
no, no, but like a real Swiss, not.
Actually, I would
uh,
be very happy to see a double round robin if it were like a 64 team double round robin.
sure, yeah, that'd be fine with that.
Like
But
64 team
uh,
double round robin, you know, really see who's at the best, and then yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think that would work well. But
Um,
yeah, I mean, clearly, single tournament, there's a lot of randomness, which is fine. I mean,
I like Mr. Watt. You guys should not be picking me. I feel like we need like some quotes everywhere. We need some bulletin board material, for our opponents. But because everyone's just too well drilled with the whole like give all the cliches. It's a tough series. We got tough opponents. I want to see one person just be like, those pronouncers are nonsense, or
they're
someone's
nonsense.
yeah, they're nonsense. I mean, we need like a good heel. Uh, Someone who can like cut a good heel promo. Yeah. Sorry, let me rephrase. We need a good heel who is also a good enough player to be capable of qualifying for the PTMS.
I don't know. I,
See, there we go. Baseball team won't make it out of the first round. See, that's what you got to go for, and you need to like make it all wrestling style. You gotta you know um, yeah, stir up a little controversy. Um,
hmm.
so yep, you know I should be like going out there and like giving pronouncers a nonsense and F minus on stream or something. How do I
Exactly.
rate? What do you rate your upcoming opponent? F minus. Oh, that's a good one, Mr. Audit. We should totally have a PTMS trash talking thread.
Well, uh, hmm.
Anyway,
There might be some obstacle to that.
no, you think?
Oh boy.
All right, Tom Hall. We can go on. Um, See, look. I know everyone thinks we got a slow stream going. I just want to point out we are already up to the diamonds. We are flying along here.
That's true. Yeah, only 25 perfects to go.
Yeah, we are all the way up
No
to the
problem.
diamonds. Tom Hall. Um, I mean, I like the P-Babbitt, I guess. He's sort of understated. No
I,
control.
yeah, I mean, this card is, I guess, not the worst card in the game as an 80 and as nine. Maybe it's okay.
So
Like you
in
can
low
try to start
diamond,
it.
I have him basically the about where the build a lineup Gary Lavelle was. But Lavelle's of course splittier. But like
Yeah,
overall value, I have him similar.
yeah. I mean, I have him kind of like sort of barely out of the like. Well, actually, somewhat out of the bullpen mix for low
Yeah, I
diamond.
think
But
that's right. I do
I mean,
like
the
that he has
only
the extra stamina because
yeah, if you can, he won't
you
lose
know
stuff as a starter, but I don't think he's good enough to start. So then it's
no, but
just like
I would definitely have drafted him in the draft we just did.
that's true. He is probably the best 91, like exactly 91. So if you have like one extra point in the diamond floor cap, maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's very niche stuff.
Um, Yeah, so I think, I would say he's probably out of the meta even on release. But I know we've mentioned in the past that although, if that were a bronze card, that would just be an F. I think we felt that for diamond, the cards start to get expensive enough that a card just out of the meta probably is vaguely playable.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess the problem for this one is that it's LE, so it's not getting cheaper. Um, like Neftali Feliz, for example, is 90 better and cheaper.
Yeah, so
Um,
maybe being an LE does kill this card, because I think this is probably closer to a D than an F because it is on the fringes of the meta.
no, I think it's a D. Yeah, I think a D is what is okay. If there's not an LE, we could think about a C maybe because of the kind of expense argument, but um, yeah, I think a D seems right to me.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't think there's too much to say otherwise.
No, not really.
Um, all right, so let's go on then to Derek Jeter. This is clearly going to be a short discussion. Um, okay, so very very one-sided reverse splits bat. 79 range. Weird base running profile. And a Yankee.
Yeah, I mean the card's kind of all over the map. Um, yeah, I mean, so I guess the first thing is just kind of in modern, like low diamond, let's say, it's a decent hitter, but probably not a good enough hitter to play DH, and it's not really a good enough shortstop, so it's just kind of not anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's nowhere close to.
Um,
It's nowhere close, really, as a DH. Like, I mean, we were looking
yeah,
at the Hack Wilson earlier. The Hack Wilson. Let me see.
yeah,
I'm trying to figure out
Hack
how many
Wilson.
WAR I have this behind Hack as at DH, but
It's a
it's
considerable
going to be
amount.
at least
Yeah.
5.
Oh, I don't know about five, but yeah, I mean like 2.5 or three, I think I got. But yeah, I mean it's still a lot.
Looking. No, you're right. It's closer. 3.2.
Yeah, okay, that's I think I got it. So much
Um,
enough. Yeah, I mean either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just nothing
it
about
is a
that.
unique profile because of the bat that you get with a shortstop. Um,
I
you
guess
know,
in dead ball, it's probably a very good hitter. So if there's like a dead ball DH where you dead ball DH low diamond where you can play non dead ball cards, it's probably okay. But that I just listed a whole lot of conditions there.
you did. The funny thing is, I will actually admit, isidafo and I had a long discussion about whether I should play this card in the PTMS tomorrow. So, all right, hear me out. uh, the PTMS, I'm expecting to see a lot of right-handed starters in that format. Um, this is a card you want against right-handed starters. It's, like the 2000 era. So this is an era where infield defense is maybe something I'm willing to punt a little bit to get enough extra good bats. Um, the alternative is playing Hannes, and Hannes is a horrible fit for that park. Uh, and if I play Jeter over Hannes, I save 7 points, and this is a really tight cap where there are a lot of things to do with 7 points. So I actually thought really hard about playing this card as a shortstop in the PTMS. Um,
Henry Ramirez is another card that's kind of on the same line, but it's
no,
also
but Hanley, you're
two
not
instead of
saving the
seven.
points.
Yeah, it's only two instead of seven, but it's I think it's sort of a similar idea potentially.
There are a couple of reasons I didn't. And I think one problem with this card is basically the way the manager works and the lack of ability to set the sliders that you want. Um, if you run this card on So let's say you run this card on a tournament roster, and you were to try to platoon him. Like you run him versus righties, and you run, I guess, Peck and Paw versus lefties. Let's say you were to think about doing that.
Sure, that seems
I mean,
okay.
probably you should start Peck and Paw both ways, but
Probably.
let's suppose you had this idea in mind, right? The problem I have is what your AI manager is going to do is he's going to pinch hit Jeter, against a lefty reliever, ignoring the reverse splits, and then leave him in the game to play shortstop.
We'll do that.
And there is no way in the current settings to basically tell the manager this guy has reverse splits. You have to basically just pretend he's a left-handed hitter.
Right, and also there's no way to tell him don't don't put this in the field, please.
Right.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And the combination of those means that just right now, the way the game engine's put together, I think it's very difficult to use hitters with reverse splits. Now, having said that, that's not the main problem with this card. The main problem with this card is we were just sort of discussing the very best possible scenario. A tournament that might have virtually 100% right-handed pitching in an era where you're willing to punt a bit on infield defense. And we still can't play the card.
So I will say I think there is only one potential use for this card, which is sort of a funny use, which is as a very super budget league DH. Because the BABIP actually helps there more than it does in tournaments. And he is very cheap. Though Norm Cash probably kills that idea.
Just play Norm Cash. Yeah, just play Cash. Yeah. But I mean, play Hack. Why would you? Why would
VR in league? Not quite a lot better actually.
Just because the way the power is being killed, you mean?
Yeah.
Play Galarraga.
Actually, that's better than Galarraga VR for League also. This is actually a decent League hitter, I think. VR only.
Okay, play Votto and get 125i.
I like Votto, though I do have Jeter better than Votto. But no, I mean, I think it doesn't work anyway. I think Norm Cash is the card that makes that not doable. Because you just play Norm Cash then. You spend an extra 20k and you get a real, actually amazing bat.
Yeah, and that was the conclusion I came to also, is that in the end, this card is worse than Hannes. So I can't play it.
I think it's the closest, other than PT. So PT20, which is the year that Jeter was inducted in the Hall of Fame, he had a really, really strong card, it was this Hall of Fame card. But that was because they allowed, you were allowed to trade any card, any position. Then they trained in 2 days, so you could play Jeter at second or third or first or whatever. This is, I think, as close as we've come to having a playable Derek Jeter. So that's something, but Jeter just is such a bad, the way that Jeter was as a player does not work with the way that OOTP's engine works. So
yeah, I think that's right. Well, it's also because I think as a player he wasn't as good as the reputation.
No, but I mean he was a good player. I think he ended up with 75 or 80 career WAR. It's not a bad player, but the things that he was good at are not the things that the OOTP engine likes you to be good at.
Yeah, the splits also, I kind of wonder here because, I mean, yes, he had these big reverse splits in 1999, right?
Yeah,
that's
I imagine
true.
It's single season silliness.
It's going to be single season silliness. It's going to be, only having 100 plate appearances against lefties or whatever. But I also wonder how much of that's the stadium. Are you basically just sort of learning that Yankee Stadium has a ridiculously short right field, and so he goes the other, and so he goes and you have a hitter that goes the other way against breaking balls from righties.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's probably some of it. I mean, this is actually he has bigger reverse splits in this season than he does regular splits in his career.
Yes.
So,
but it's a really small sample. But I
Yeah.
can't find the way to do a double split easily. I wanted to see how much of that is the home road thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Fangraphs probably has it or StatHead, but I don't. I don't have access to that.
But you can get was it 25 or $50 off? I'm forgetting
I
now.
can get $25 off an undetermined price.
You can get $25 off StatHead Baseball. Um, yes.
Okay, we need to speed up though, because this is we're,
All
we're
right,
only
all right,
half an hour now.
all right, all right.
Like 35 cards.
Then I think like all Boston Red Sox fans, we're gonna give Derek Jeter an F and move on.
F Jeter.
Uh, all right, Walker Cooper. Um, well, I mean, for me, this is a really easy one because it's the inaptly named Walker Cooper.
Oh, I don't hate this card actually.
No, he actually ends up at the top of my model, but he doesn't
Yeah.
walk.
He doesn't walk. So in low diamond now, I want to play this in freehand.
Yeah, me too. And I think in
So-
that, I mean, I think in that order, if I had to play them two ways, but it's an obvious platoon.
Yeah, you just platoon them. I have them quite close as two-way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just it's a good card. You should play it in low diamond. Tune it with freehand profit.
Wait, we're not. Hold on. What says we're affiliates? We're not. We're not affiliates. Where does it say we're affiliates? Best barrel maker in the business. Yes. Well, I mean, actually, looking at that power rating, the guy does make barrels.
Yeah. Oh, Twitch affiliates. That's true. Twitch affiliates is accurate.
No, I mean that's a good point. That Cooper definitely barrels.
Yeah.
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 He does have the funny reverse splits. So I think this is
I
solid.
like those. Yeah, I mean, I think these reverse splits are actually helpful, especially with freehand running around.
But I do think this is a card, as you say, that's probably pretty similar to freehand in terms of power, but costs you 9 more points of overall.
He does, however, cost you like almost 100k fewer perfect points. So
Is freehand
that's
even on the
something.
market?
No. There's a bio dart for 125k.
Yeah,
but
how many
there is-
how many LEs are you gonna run tomorrow? Maybe you don't have to answer that one yet, but I was just thinking.
I don't know. I haven't actually put together the whole roster, like beginning to end, but not that many. I don't think.
I'm running an even number of them, I think.
I'm trying to think. I might not be. I'm not sure.
Are you going odd number? So you're going with that build.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know.
What we're gonna do? So everyone, stay tuned. After we raid into EVC, we'll be discussing our PTMS builds on stream.
Yep, that's for sure.
As soon as we raid into EVC, we will show our PTMS builds.
Uh-huh.
I may be running a larger number of LEs than people anticipate next time around. All right. Yeah, 'cause that's a good question for everyone in chat. How many perfect points did you spend specifically on cards for PTMS this time around? I believe my number begins with a 2.
I think mine will not.
Are you in the 3 range now?
Shouldn't be. It depends because I'm not sure if I consider some of the cards I bought solely for PTMS because I want them for League at the moment also.
Yeah, well, I'll probably keep some of them for League.
I mean, Ludlow, there's going to be half an hour.
Well, no, there isn't. All right, actually, sorry.
After the thing.
All right, you know what we will do before we raid into EVC? I will actually reveal and build my PTMS roster on stream. I think I'm willing to do that. Let's get through Walker Cooper first. So Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a must-have because of freehand. I think he's good. You're probably going to collect him for mission value anyway. So he's probably like an A or a B.
Well, this stream end before PTMS starts, maybe. Yeah, B probably. I think
Let's give him a B. All
because
right.
he's one way. He goes one way. Yeah.
How about Andres Galarraga? Um, Wish he had more eye, but it's still a really big bat.
Yeah, there's a lot of big blue numbers here.
So I do have him as the best two-way. I mean, this is kind of funny. So I have him as the best two-way first baseman, but I think in an optimal low diamond build, I don't think he plays because I think I would rather platoon Davis and Fox, and then he gets squeezed out.
I mean, I have him basically like about equal to Fox and slightly worse than Davis. So I'm just gonna play him two ways then and take my platoon elsewhere.
Well, they're both splitty enough that I think I get a lot more out of playing Davis plus Fox.
Well, I mean, I just have Galrod kind of close to both of them. So
On their good side, you mean?
yeah,
That's right. You still like singles more than I do.
I do like singles. Singles are good. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna play this in low diamond, just run first base both ways and kind of be done with it.
Yeah, and is
But I also play Chris Davis at third a lot, so you know.
as Mr. Black points out, this is a good dead ball card as well, especially with that gap
Yeah, I mean,
power. I think that makes up for the lack of eye.
yeah, the eye would be really nice to have for dead ball, but yeah, it still should
So
be good.
I think it's a solid card, but I actually think this is a pretty skippable card. So I feel like this is probably about a B. Like this is not
I think I
a
would,
big PTMS reward,
I
but
think I
it's a
would give
solid
this one
card.
A probably because I am gonna play it. I think. Yeah, I don't know why you can not. That is really strange.
Well, I think I mean, I think you can play him because he saves you know, he sort of saves a roster spot. That's the argument for
Yeah, but I
playing
mean,
him.
like,
But I
if you're
think
gonna have like a low
yeah.
diamond cap, you want this.
No, in a low diamond cap, you play Votto.
And who are you playing the other way?
Votto.
No, there's no
Votto.
way.
I mean,
That's
Votto. It's a
good.
cap, and there aren't a lot of lefties in low diamond.
Nah, there's Candelaria and Partlow now. There's like two real lefties. I'm pretty sure you just want this in caps. I mean, I guess it depends what the floor is, but like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this card will actually get a lot of play.
All right, we can give him
At
an
least,
A.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't play up to diamonds, so that's why I don't think it's an S. But
Let's see. He is the big cat. That is very clearly true.
mm,
Um, I should check how badly this team's doing in league. I haven't looked at it in a while. We are getting relegated. All right,
mm.
I got to work on my theme team.
And not a
Fortunately,
lot of
there's a
points
stream
there to
we
do it.
fortunately
But
there's a stream we can raid into after. No, I dumped all my points because I had a buy order up forever for Ruth, who fits this team. So
ah,
so now the good news is now I've got a Ruth.
that's true. That is a good
The
card
bad
for this.
news is there are a lot of other weaknesses that Ruth can't cover up by himself. But Ruth is an excellent card, and actually, I do recommend people go out and buy themselves like this card for a lot of formats. I feel like Ruth is the most undervalued like cap card I've seen because he's just beating up on uh, like these low iron pitchers more than the alternatives. League card
Yeah,
I
I guess
think is
maybe
less
in
convincing.
this. No, league card. I actually think it's just bad. But tournaments, yeah, he's interesting.
Are there any good theme team streamers?
No, I haven't heard of any. BBC, close your ears. No, I'm kidding.
All right. Eric Davis. Eric Davis. It's a good card.
Yeah,
You know, are you going to run him in center? I think probably not. I think I'd rather run him in left, but you could run him in center. I mean, what do you think?
Depends if you have Andrew Jones or not, probably. Um, I think if you have Andrew Jones, you're still putting Andrew Jones in center.
Sounds right.
Uh, I do like Eric Davis better than Tommy Davis for sure. It's just like a lead card or just powered, just it's a better hitter, let's say. Um,
Yeah, so I have him second in center behind Jones, but I definitely run Andrew. Um,
yeah, I think if you don't have Andrew Jones, then you can think about it. Like the alternative would be probably either Amos Otis or Tim Edmonds, I guess.
yeah, and then in left, I have him second behind the David Justice we're going to talk about in a moment.
Yeah, well, that
But I
card's a
have him
bit
pretty
silly.
far behind Justice.
That card is very silly, to be fair.
So the funny thing is, this is an excellent card, but I think if you actually have every single card in the game, he's just a backup, and just a really
I
good
think
backup.
I think if I have every single
I
card
think
in the
you're running
game,
Justice. You're running Justice.
I would run Dave Wood Jones Justice VL and Davis Jones Justice. Or
Maybe
actually,
I
Davis
guess
Jones
you run him one.
Clemente probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you run him one way.
yeah. I think he tunes, but
Yeah, so which is too bad because this like it's an excellent card. I love what the card gives you, and he's just being released very
okay.
slightly too late.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we just the two of the three cards we just listed are not exactly cheap. Like David Justice is going to have what 16 copies,
Yep, and Andrew Jones.
and the
What does
20
Andrew Jones go for?
you had 20 and was sold for like 400K, and Justice is probably better.
Jones, okay, 300K last 10, but there's none on the market.
So Justice should probably sell for more than like a lot more than this. Justice is better and has fewer copies.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think if you're stuck behind two 300K plus cards, it's kind of okay.
no, it's still a really good card. It's just when I looked at this, I said this is probably an S tier card, and now that I realize that actually, if you have a full build, he somehow gets squeezed out and doesn't play. I'm thinking it's more like an A or a B. You
It's
know.
definitely more like it's definitely more than a B because it's only a B if you like literally have if you have every single card you still roster this you just don't start it both ways like it
All right,
has to
well,
be.
let's give it an A, but
I think A plus is
I
probably
really wanted this to be an S, and it's just sort of getting squeezed out by these other releases coming out at the same time.
yeah I'm really not so concerned with that because I mean like if you're squeezed up by cards like that it's like there's still going to be a lot of use.
Yeah.
It's not like the card is much worse.
EVC thinks A plus. All right, we can give him an A plus.
Yeah, I think A plus is what I would do too.
All right, we can give him an A plus. Did the imperfect draft fire yet? By the way,
No idea.
if someone wants to check. In the meantime, we'll do one more, and then otherwise I'll go check. But since we are very much in speed round territory now, Tim Lincecum. Clearly not the
Yeah,
shape that you love to see.
the PTS card. No, but this is another one I was sort of surprised. I looked at this card, I thought it was going to be terrible. And model thinks it's kind of okay.
No, my model has this like in a group for second and third. Basically, this and Felix.
Yeah, I mean, I have Gaylord Perry first still,
Yeah, me too. And then I've
and then
got
it's kind of
Lincecum and Felix kind of in the next
yeah. I've
group.
got also Newcomb and Max Manning up there, and then Dennis Martinez a little bit behind them now.
Yeah, my model
Um,
doesn't quite like Newcomb as much as you do, but I mean he's up
yeah,
there.
so it's a good card. I mean, in particular for this what this modern era diamond cap thing.
Yeah, for that it
I
probably becomes a must play.
yeah, I don't. I'm really not a big fan of that format because there are so many cards that like play very specifically there because the card pool is just tiny. But okay, it plays there. It's really good there. And then for diamond, it's kind of just another like option.
Yeah, so I think this ends up being a really solid card. I think all of the pitchers there are a little bit fungible. Um, you know, other than maybe Perry.
Yeah, Perry also being a 96 is really nice. And I guess this fact this is 97 and like those other guys are 98, 99 is something, but
Bumps it up a little bit, yeah. So it's probably. What do you think?
probably like a B.
Sure. I can give me a B plus. I mean, he's
Yeah, sure.
because he's
That's fine.
97.
Yeah.
All right, 30 out of 32. So if anyone wants in, it is ID 472, and the rules are you must draft 7 relievers before any starter. And if you wanted in the prediction, here's the prediction contest for PTMS. See, I can at least see how many people have predict. We have 12 predictions in so far, so we can figure out who is the community consensus favorite.
Yeah, I mean it might be a uh little skewed by us promoting it, but
A little skewed by us promoting it. Um, Possibly.
but that's all right.
Well, mine's
It's
easy.
still
Just pick anyone with a TBD after their name, and you're doing fine.
yeah.
uh, let's see. All right, where are we at after Linscomb? Sam Crawford. This is a card I was kind of looking forward to seeing. So
This card is really interesting, I think.
yeah, it's a little tough to evaluate. That was what I was going to mention.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Because you're maybe about to
No,
say
I
the
think
same thing.
I assume we say the same thing. Uh,
Triples.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference, but yeah, we have no idea really how many triples the thing's going to hit.
Right.
Probably a whole lot.
So yeah. So what we're referring to is you see a gap power rating on these cards, but there is a rating that sort of describes what the distribution is there between doubles and triples.
The default is based off of speed. So speed is kind of, if there's nothing else, speed is what sort of determines what the split
Right.
looks like.
But this is the kind of card where, because this is a season where he set a record for triples, you might guess that it's going to be pretty heavily skewed on this
I
one.
think it's almost certain he will have a historical triples rating. I would be shocked if he didn't.
Yeah.
I just don't know how big it's going to be exactly.
But that does matter. So, as we are constantly told, you're going to have to play this card to see if he's any good.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious to see, really. I mean, it's going to be a lot of triples, but exactly how much a lot of triples. Uh,
Okay, with that said, I think I'm still playing James Wood over this card. I think I'm going to play Hack over this card. I'd obviously play Justice over this card if you play him in right. I'd play Luke Easter over this card, I think.
oh, I have it. I mean, I have it below Justice, obviously, because Justice is just silly, but I have it like second after that VR right field.
Yeah, so I think this is one of these things where your your model likes right field defense and my model likes third base defense.
Yeah, it seems that way.
uh, so I think it's like certainly in the regime where it's playable, but not a big fan of the shape. And I also don't think this plays up as much in dead ball as some of the other
I
cards I just
I
mentioned.
think Dead Ball is really going to depend on how many triples it is because he's going to hit like Dead Ball already has a lot of triples. He is going to hit a lot of triples.
If you have enough triples, then you can play him in dead ball. Yeah,
Um,
and
so
I
I
think
think
that's
Dead Ball is kind of a
gonna
maybe.
that's gonna be
But
the difference in our models. So
yeah,
I think that leaves him, kind of in the, interesting but not must-have range, which is why I like a C.
yeah, I think I'd probably give him a B, but yeah, C, B or C.
Let me think. Well, I think he's clearly behind a card like Walker Cooper.
Uh, yeah, I guess that's true. So fair enough.
All right,
Let's see
we'll give him a
Crawford.
C for Crawford.
Stephen Crawford.
We're already in speed mode because we have promised to figure out how to raid into EVC, and we have oh gosh, that's
Not
not a
enough
lot of
minutes.
time left.
Yeah.
Well, EVC, you said you were starting at 5:30. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hanley. What's all right? We're almost up to the perfect. So we're doing well.
Yep.
Hanley. Okay, well, I really don't understand this card.
It's
Um,
sort of an interesting one. If Dick Allen didn't exist, I would really like this card.
okay, well, the problem is this card can't play third, can't play short,
No, this can
can't even
play
play
third.
left.
This
Okay,
plays
you're
third
gonna tell me that
fine.
fine. You're gonna tell me this card can play third. I
No,
agree.
if Dick Allen didn't exist, I would want to own this.
Because the
But Dick
bat's
Allen
not
exists.
even remotely close enough to play first.
VL, it's probably okay, but Dick Allen is the problem. I mean, okay, so like you can play this again. This is this modern era diamond thing, which I talk about over and over and over again. You can play it there, and it's probably good.
Yeah, do you play it
Um,
over Batista? Or you just
you
play
can go to Easton
Batista in right?
outfield, yeah, or left
Well, if
probably.
you're gonna play Batista in right, yeah, you're playing this in the modern era stuff.
Yeah, um, yeah. As a shortstop, I don't think it's good enough. Um, but yeah, as a third baseman or first baseman, I'm pretty happy with this. Just Dick Allen. Dick
Well,
Allen is the
I
problem.
mean, the funny thing is my model doesn't love it at third because of Dick Allen, but also like it would rather play Batista there.
Oh,
But
that's
but
we can do
but
another guess by the way in a second, but
but my model actually thinks that this card is about as playable at short as Jeter, and that both are cards I should be considering in Diamond, which is
yeah, I don't
basically
have.
telling me I need to throw out my model.
So I'm another trivia question here. Who do you think my model has first number one third baseman VL or VR? I'm sorry, VR. Number one third baseman VR.
Number one third baseman VR, Diamond or overall?
Diamond.
Okay, so your model completely doesn't care about defense, right?
Yep. Well, it cares a little, but yeah, not a lot.
Norm Cash.
Yes. I have Chris Davis fourth, Mr. Black. I have VR third base, Cash, Hanley, and Dick Allen basically tied, and then Chris Davis.
We've been streaming together too long.
Yeah.
uh, wow. All right, so where does that leave Hanley? I think it leaves him as like
Probably a D.
sure we can give him a D.
He has one format he
Now,
plays.
and then we can go to the better third baseman, Norm
Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah, this card
Um,
is silly.
this card is money.
Yeah. I mean, so Norm Cash, again, in PT20, he had a 961 card that was the best first baseman in the game for a while. Actually, quite a while. This is not that far from that. Like, as silly as it sounds, I think this is, like, not that much different than the 100 Garrick for League.
You're trying to buy Norm Cash for a theme team. Please rank him low. Okay. Well, if you look at this Norm Cash, I think we can see we would just rather play like Cullenbine, right?
Yeah, this Norm Cash is, I don't like this one. You know,
Yeah, he's awful.
he's yeah, really not a great card. Uh,
Yeah, let's just play Cullenbine
yeah,
instead. All right.
yeah,
Done.
Combine Garrick. Yeah.
Okay, so I like that this card comes with extra strengths, but also a real weakness. You know, it really does have to be platooned, and I think
Yeah.
that's nice. I think that again, I think that's good card design. I don't think it's a flaw when you kind of do something like that.
No, but I
So
mean, that just laps the field VR for Diamond.
it does, and also at the moment, Diamond is a pretty right-handed meta.
Yeah.
And that's why like Chris Davis has been viable. That's why Hack I think is going to play in full diamond. You're going to try to find a way to play him as a multi-position backup or something because of that bat. Um, and so I think because of that, this is just an incredible card.
Yeah, no, this card's just phenomenal. I mean, like I said, I think this is like if you don't have 100 Garrick, and even if you have 100 Garrick, you can think about it. But if you don't have 100 Garrick, this is probably your first baseman VR right now in League.
Yeah, so I think this just becomes an S tier card.
I think this one is not that far from just S plus. The bat is just so ridiculous.
I mean, it's funny because he doesn't quite play up a level, but I think he's just so far ahead of the other bats. Now, Gabagoo did ask us to not rank him an F, so we could give him a G for Gabagoo.
Uh huh.
But
No,
it's just an S, right?
yeah, it's like, yeah, this card
All
is
right,
very,
well,
very
we're
good.
gonna give it an S for sorry about that Gabagoo, but this is a really good card.
Be happy we didn't give it S plus.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds fair. All right, David Justice. Now there is one enormous downside to this card,
You can't play the silver.
which is the silver David Justice is incredible, and by getting this card, you cannot play the silver David Justice.
Yeah, but this card is great. I mean,
Having said that, I have this as by far the best left fielder, and by far, but not quite as far, the best right fielder in Diamond.
yep, I do too. This is also very, very playable in League. Very playable.
This is a bat that I have like as good as Hack Wilson's, but you actually have a real glove.
I have it better. I have it as the second best bat behind Norm Cash. Like a lot behind Norm Cash, but still.
See, you're forgetting that Hack Wilson only has 52 avoid K. This one has 89, and so that hurts the value a lot. If this had 52 avoid K, this would be right up there with Cash.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's eligible for your Oakland theme teams.
Yeah.
This is just an S tier card, right? Or is this even an S plus? He might even be an S plus.
I don't know. It probably doesn't quite play an open, so
Yeah,
like,
he's not going to play an open, although it's
not that
close.
far.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was playing James Wood until pretty recently an open.
yeah. So it's probably just a plain S, but
It's a really good S.
it's a really good card.
I am just tempted to give this a plus.
I mean, it's. I could go either way on the plus.
You know,
It's
he is
really
eligible for an Escape from New York team. Does that push him to a plus?
good. I don't know. It's. I don't know. It's fairly. It's close. I'm fine with either.
All right, I think we go for a plus. I think we go for a plus. All right, and now before we take on Dolph Camilli, let's just bask in this S plus for a moment, and let's check if the Immortal, the imperfect draft fired.
Do we have to talk about Dolph Camilli? Could we just skip it? Could we just skip the next 4 cards, actually?
Okay, we have 10 minutes to talk about just the perfects. We're in good shape, right? 10 minutes to talk about the perfects, look through the imperfect draft, and play the PTM and build a PTMS roster. We can do this, right? Okay. Dolph Camilli. I mean, this is a solid enough low diamond bat. It's not the one we're talking about, is it?
The other one is also a solid low diamond bat.
This,
I guess.
So if I put this card up against like the Mark McGuire, it doesn't look good for Dolph, actually, does it?
Okay, so a lot of the time, like when I'm thinking about what does an F mean? To me, an F means like this is not a card that I think anyone who's trying to be competitive should play. It doesn't mean this card shouldn't have been printed. In this case, I think it.
In this case, you're actually asking,
because the thing is with
you're asking why this card was printed, and you're possibly including an F in that sentence.
Yeah. So Dolph Camilli has identical eligibility to Johnny Mize and Lou Gehrig. Identical. SE, same era, 100 overall, first baseman only. Like,
yeah,
nothing is different.
You got to say that in the Joe Pesci voice, though.
He is worse than both of those cards.
Yes.
One of which costs 30K.
Yes.
And has been around for 2 months.
Also true.
What world is this card seeing play? Like, where? Can anyone think of a single scenario? Like, you can think of the most ridiculous format you want. Yeah,
Okay, so if you're running running a guy's named Dolph. Okay, if you're running a Dodgers theme team, is Jackie eligible at first?
Yes.
Uh,
Like, there's literally nothing. I fundamentally do not understand why this card exists in the game. Like, if they're
well,
professional boxers. I don't even know if he plays that. I don't know. I don't know how many professional boxers there are.
you don't think you have to play this one to find out, just in case?
No, I'm pretty confident we'll have to play this one to find out. I'm
I
fairly
have
certain.
been told you have to play it to find out.
The thing is, even if this is a diamond, I don't think it plays. Like, that's how bad it is.
By the way, you guys should be lucky that I didn't go with my imperfect draft suggestion this week. My imperfect draft suggestion this week was going to be you have to draft nothing but middle infielders until you get to gold.
I think it'd be kind of funny. So yeah, I mean, so we're basically down to like we can think of a couple of theme teams who want this, but like you could print this as a 95 and the theme teams would want just as much. So like I don't know, why is this a 100? Why does it like if you want to print this identical card as a 94, like sure. But
he still doesn't play, but you could print it.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just quote everything you just said, but talk about Charlie Gehringer?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, first off, how much does Joe Morgan cost at the moment? I'm just curious.
Like 200-ish, I think.
200-ish. Okay. But and how much does Jackie? Doesn't Jackie cost less than this card now?
Yeah.
And Evers probably cost less than.
Yeah, the thing is, if you see, like, if he's just a theme team card, like, he can be a 94, and he's just as good of a theme team card. In fact, he's better because he'll be cheaper.
Right.
So, like, yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, we can move on to Gehringer.
Yes. So Gehringer. I mean, look, it's a splitty card that wants to play versus righties and is just entirely outclassed by an earlier card from the same set.
The other problem is we have released Gehringer and Whitaker at the same moment. They do the same job. So no matter which one you think is better or worse, one of them is bad. You can't. Both of these.
Correction. At least one of them is bad.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But by printing these cards at the identical time, there is no way that both of them can play.
Right.
Like one of them will never play. At least one of them will never play.
At least one of them will never play. So let's talk about. Okay, so this one I do think is better than Whitaker, pretty clearly.
Depends what I have them. I have them flip. I have Whitaker better in league and Gehringer worse in tournaments, and neither one anywhere close.
Neither's close, but Whitaker at least plays a bit of defense.
Yeah, I mean, I have Gehringer better in tournaments and Whitaker better in league, but yeah,
that's what I think I've probably got the same thing, but neither is just all right.
Yeah. FF, let's go. Go next.
I think we're being kind to Whitaker on the F here, but we got to be nice to the Tigers here.
Yeah. See, these don't bother me as much as Camille because they're not like identical but they're not like identical worse versions of another card because they do have different era eligibility.
But actually,
like,
EVC, as far as the theme teams, like if you get both Tigers, you still can only play one on the theme team.
That's true. Yeah, they have. Yeah, really, really terrible. Okay, so Home Run Baker.
Home Run Baker,
who is
all right.
apparently different from his cousin Frank Baker.
Yes, that's right. So there's a home run baker. There's a tournament edition home run baker. So they've actually renamed this now.
Oh, they fixed it. Oh, that's okay. Well, that's great because now
So
again,
that
if you're
breaks all
using
of your stats. If you had stats in the database with a Frank Baker, he no longer exists.
if
Now
you're
it is
you
a home run baker.
yeah, again, another big suggestion to everyone: use card ID as a key. Don't use card title, please.
Yes. Now
Yeah.
what I wonder
Card
is home run baker's nickname still home run, or is his nickname now Frank?
That's an interesting question. I can go grab the latest card list and see.
Um, okay. As for the card, I know you're not big on third base defense. The reverse splits again just don't interact wonderfully with the game engine.
Well, I don't like third base defense, but I do like cards that hit
Well, come on. This card
generally.
hits almost as well as A-Rod, Hannes, Cabrera, Pujols, Schmidt, Dick Allen, Ryan Sandberg, Hanley, Matthews, Roland. Hold on, I gotta go scroll down more.
Oh, that's interesting. So the tournament edition Home Run Baker has no nickname, but the Immortal Home Run Baker's nickname is Frank.
Okay. Uh, would this card play in Diamond? No. Would this card
No.
play in Low Diamond? I think you're still playing Fox, but it's close.
Um, no, I think I'd play this one way in Low Diamond.
Well, yeah, I guess you play it one way.
Yeah.
Well, no, you play Hanley.
The hand is 98. He can play in Low Diamond.
Sorry, Diamond. Sorry, Diamond. Right, Low
Oh,
Diamond.
no, Diamond I wouldn't play him, I don't think.
Yeah.
Low Diamond I would play him one way, and I would play Jose Bautista the other way. Yes, RDT, the Monty Ward, John
Okay,
Ward
so
is pretty funny.
this also might be a minus. This probably is a minus then as well.
Yeah, I think so. That's really terrible.
All right.
There's another one I think coming too. Another minus.
And then we got Miguel Cabrera.
Maybe two more minuses
All right.
even.
Miguel Cabrera is not an F.
No, this is an interesting card actually.
So I have this card on release as the second best overall DH behind Ted, but I'd rather platoon them. He has interesting splits as well. And there's there's an asterisk there because when we talk about Tip O'Neill, we're going to have to.
I prefer Tip O'Neill as a hitter to this.
I was going to say we're going to have to talk about Tip O'Neill because, for reasons we're going to get to when we talk about him, I'm not sure how to evaluate that card without playing it.
For once, it's true.
Yeah. You got to play it to find out. I have Cabrera only as the third best third baseman because I do believe in defense. You probably are just happy to run him at third.
Depends if we're talking league or tournaments. League, I don't love playing this at third. I have him kind of close, like with A-Rod VR, and worse than Schmidt VL and A-Rod VL.
So I will say, if this card had the first base eligibility, I would expect. And I just want to point out, Miguel Cabrera did play first base a couple games in 2012.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, again,
he should
even
be
if
trainable at first base.
even if he had played zero, it would be in contrast to Jose Ramirez getting shortstop and Tony Gwynn getting center,
Yes.
because they didn't play a single inning of either. So
Yeah,
again,
so
the position eligibility is all over the
if
map.
this
They
card
just
had
need to pick.
if this
pick one
card
and go
had
with it.
first base eligibility, I think this would have been an S tier card for me because the bat's so
Oh,
good and it has
easily.
legs.
Easily.
The fact that it doesn't makes it tougher because when you have a card that starts out as a DH, literally one card knocks it out of the meta, and so it's harder to really invest heavily in the card.
In tournaments, I'm pretty happy to play this at third. I haven't just liked the best by a lot because the bat's the best. In league, I'm less happy to play it at third, but it's still kind of okay. Maybe park dependent, staff dependent, whatever.
In tournaments, I think I will play. Well, the problem is I'm always playing A-Rod and Hannes first.
Actually, I'm not sure in tournaments what I would do if I had all those. I might just play all three and like play Cabrera, Onus VR, and
if you get a
A-Rod,
Rizzuto,
Onus VL.
and if you were able to get a Rizzuto as well, I think it's a DH for sure at that point.
Yeah, well, Rizzuto is very good. So Rizzuto is a lot worse in tournaments than he is in league. For sure.
Okay, so I think because he doesn't have the first base eligibility, he probably doesn't have the longevity. Like usually when we're talking about S tier cards, partly this is a buying guide. You can't buy everything. Which are the cards that really are worth investing in because you're going to want to run them for a long time. I'm not convinced that this card is a card you want to run for a long time, but I am convinced this is a card that you want to run right now in basically any format he's eligible.
Yeah, I
So
think that's
I
fair.
don't know whether that makes him like a really short-lived S or if that makes him like an A, but the kind of A that you want to go out and get if you're
I
playing
mean,
these
I
tournaments.
think he'll stick around at third for a bit in tournaments, and then in the league he's gonna go away fairly quickly.
So maybe the card's an A, but it's an A that like of the various A's, this is the one that you most want to think about getting. Is that about
Yeah, I
right?
think that's probably fair.
Whereas a card like Hack Wilson was an A plus, I think Wilson will be in the meta a lot longer than Cabrera.
Yeah, probably that's true. Oh, our draft fire.
All right, good. We'll check that in a moment. Uh, let's take a look at Billy Wagner.
Sure.
Um, Lefty, a little bit splitty, but not awful against righties. You like modern era guys that do have control because those are a bit hard to find. Um, I do have him like fourth among two-way relievers right now.
Yeah, I think it's kind of pretty similar to Andrew Miller.
I've got him almost a tenth of a run behind Miller, just because the extra control you get with Miller, but uh, and because I kind of model high-end relievers as getting the bad side of the platoon split a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably fair. It's the same kind of
So
cards that I
we
think as
we, we,
Miller.
we can do marbles at the end. I want to get through these cards so that we're able to raid into EVC. But I did promise that we would build a PTMS roster, and we can do a marble thing at the very end if people want to do that. But I do want to try to wrap up so that if people want to go see EVC stream, they can do that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I mean, Wagner's the same place as the other like kind of good relievers, where it's like you probably don't want this in caps very often. It's nice for open stuff and league, but it's
But
not
it's
going to
definitely
make
not a
somebody
must-have. It's probably
market.
like a C
No,
or so. I mean,
yeah,
you're perfectly
C's
happy to have
fine.
it.
Yep,
Now
I think
Koji,
C's
on the
alright.
other hand, I do have Koji on release as the best available reliever.
Yeah, I mean, second best. I am second, second best pitcher. Obviously, this Pedro is way ahead, but
Eh, you know,
um,
this Pedro is halfway. Can we get EVC to do marbles while rating with the raid?
like just preemptively play. I like that. We haven't even started yet. Um,
EVC's lost his marbles.
exactly.
Um,
Uh,
Koji's really good.
yeah, I don't know. Yes, he's very good, but he's a reliever, so I don't know where that leaves him exactly.
Um,
He's definitely the best one.
I will say the 11 stamina is actually a big detriment for this card because otherwise you're thinking about playing him in like early era open type things, and with the 11 stamina, I still think you can't.
Yeah, the 11-7 is unfortunate.
Um,
Um,
but I love the reverse splits too. I mean, you know how much I'm gonna love a card like this with reverse splits because the AI, here's the thing, the AI is gonna look at this card, and if he is brought in to face that Derek Jeter, it's gonna pinch hit a lefty.
yeah, I mean, even if you just took his VR and made it his VL, he's still the best reliever. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So I think you're right that it's just not an S tier card as a reliever because relievers are too fungible. But I think it's a solid A.
yeah, that's what I would get to. Yep.
All right, we're trying to go fast. We may not succeed.
Well, this one's easy at least.
Billy Williams. Why is this card printed?
I mean, okay, again, like I think this one is better than the Camille because it's not just like it's not dominated by other cards. Like you can at least
Uh,
you can at least find era stuff or whatever where you want it.
oh, I thought you meant there are no, because there are other cards that literally have more of everything than this, I think.
Yeah, but I mean the real problem with Camille is that he's just strictly like everything. He's the same eligibility and worse. So there's
Wait, no,
just
wait, no,
never a
hold on.
deal.
You play Frank Robinson over this card everywhere, don't you? I
He
mean,
was
you
mine
don't play
too though
Frank
because it's
Robinson either, but Frank
actually
Robinson's
I think
60,
Craig Robinson's
Frank
actually
Robinson's
okay.
1962.
No, I think Craig Robinson's kind of okay actually.
You play Frank Robinson, and you're
But
playing Frank Robinson left instead of right because you're playing Clemente
oh, Clemente's the same
in that
era. Yeah,
era.
okay, then he's just F
So
minus. Yep, okay.
there's never any
Yep.
scenario where this card should exist.
Yeah, I forgot Clemente. Okay, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same.
I
Then.
mean, I don't understand this one.
Yep, F minus.
Um,
Next.
so Capcom, if you're looking for grades that should be on the left side of the screen.
Yep.
All right, so Tip O'Neill. We actually have to talk about this one. So I know it's a meme and all that. I think we actually have to see this card play, and I'm going to explain why. If you take a look at his BABIP ratings, it's 125 on each side. And this appears, or at least it has been in past cycles, this has been a cap, but it's not a cap in the game engine.
Well, we don't know. I mean,
sorry, it has not been a cap in the game engine. It is not a cap in the base game.
yeah.
So this card might have 125 BABIP versus left, might have 140 BABIP versus left, and show 125. So last year when we were showing contact ratings, for example, like there was a Karl Yastrzemski where he showed 125 for a contact rating, but if you actually kind of worked out the profile, it was significantly above that. Okay, so this year, the contact ratings are able to go over 125 clearly, and it is on this card. But the other ratings are either capped in presentation at 125, or they're actually capped at 125 including presentation, or it's neither and we just happen to have hit 125 but nothing above, with the cards that have been released so far. And we don't know which. But if there's a card that would be well above 125 in BABIP or in gap power, it would be a player that hit 430 with a crap ton of doubles, in early era baseball.
Yeah. So I will say I did some very simple, like super basic attempt to sort of reverse engineer the BABIP from the contact.
Yeah, I did a quick shot at that too, and I think I got 129 V left and 127 VR.
I got something pretty similar. Yeah, my conclusion was basically that if he's over 125, the most he is 130.
I think that's probably right, but I'm not 100% sure. And what that means is, so when I'm putting this card in my models right now, and for the rest of this discussion, I am treating these ratings as 125 because, I'm treating the gap power as 125 because that's what it says on the card. I am treating the BABIP ratings as the 129 and 127 that my model wants to give it, and I just went and edited that by hand.
Okay, see, I'm just taking the numbers that I have given until I'm shown otherwise.
But I want to be clear that that's a guess. So with that guess, where I have this card is basically right behind Sherry McGee in left in open, with a better bat and worse glove.
So I think this is a card that depends a lot on whether we're talking about league or open tournaments, because like league you have this whole kind of power squishing business that doesn't exist in tournaments.
Well, you have power squishing, but you also have BABIP squishing, and that's where whether this BABIP turns out to be 125 or 129 could make an enormous difference.
Yeah, but the BABIP squishing in league is not nearly as bad as the power squishing. Like the power squishing, at least in my experience, is substantially.
Yeah, well, because they're normalizing it based on kind of the average and standard deviation, and it just turns out that the power level of cards that are running in league tends to be a much smaller spread than the BABIP range.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
because people are playing like true outcome type things.
Yeah, for the most part. So yeah, in League in particular, I think this card is really quite excellent.
Perfect draft starting. I'll
Uh,
pull it up real quick, and we can take a quick look before we go back to it. But you keep going.
yeah. So in League, this card I think is just really, really great. In fact, I think you can probably even like depending on the park, cut Ted and just play this as your two-way DH, or it
Yeah,
plays left field if you're
I
not in
think
a
I
super
still want
gap
to play
park.
Sherry McGee if I have him. I still want to play Sherry McGee ahead of this, but that's the only one I clearly want to play. And in a park like mine, which is a light power, very right-handed park, I'm playing the Marlins park right now. Um, Maybe just run him. Sorry, I'm switching to three-man rotation while we're talking about this.
Yeah, I have O'Neill like actually pretty substantially ahead of McGee for League in left field. Um, and then of course there's Billy Hamilton if you train him, but that's a different story.
Right.
Um,
But I think it is going to depend on where you put the grades. So I think this card probably could be anywhere from like a C on up, depending on exactly what those ratings are that we can't see.
I think it's probably at least
When I say on up, I mean this could be an S plus tier card. If that rating really says like 136, this is probably an S plus card.
I mean, I think this is at least a B. I probably at least an A even.
I think that's where it's most likely to be, is probably around an A, because with the BABIP numbers I'm guessing for it, and with kind of the double and with the gap number I'm guessing for it, which I think is a lot higher than 125 based on his season and looking at comparable stuff. With those numbers, I think he probably grades out to about an A. But this is one where it really is kind of tricky. I'm just looking at by that we are playing a team, okay, that did in fact. Well, we're playing a team that did draft real starters, but they didn't draft great starters. So I think we've got a shot.
Okay. Yeah, looks like it.
Anyone else want us to take a quick look at theirs, or should we? Because I want to mainly get to the. I want to get through the cards so that we can try to raid as intended.
Try. Heavy emphasis on the try.
If we have to skip something, it'll just mean that we don't get to look at my PTMS roster.
Yeah, that would be a shame.
You sometimes run out of time for stuff. So I'm thinking like give him an A question mark.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I mean, it's gonna be another like Van Halsterd style incomplete. We just need to see it play, because not for a different reason. But
no, I think our models actually agree on how to rate the card once we know the ratings. I think we have them in a pretty similar spot.
probably, yeah.
It's a question.
We just don't know what the ratings are.
Yeah, it's a question of what the actual ratings are on the card because the way it's presented. So this actually is a you have to see it to figure it out kind of card.
Yeah, I mean, I next week, there's going to be probably 1,000 to 2,000 perfectly played appearances on this thing, so we'll have some real information then.
Right. No, Burner Guy, I told you I am going to show my roster at we're going to build a PTMS roster when we get to the end of the card pool. I want to get through the card pool so that people that are waiting for us to raid into EVC can do that.
Yeah.
I do love that the name for this one is Burner Guy though. So we have to figure out whose burner account it is that really wants to see my roster.
Burner Guy 2148.
So he's been
maybe
the burner guy's been cut a few times before. So I got to ask you, who are you a burner account for?
Clearly, Burner Guy 2147.
But like I said, we will build a PTMS roster. In fact, I'm going to let Chad help me build my PTMS roster at the end of the stream. You're isidafo. Okay, so you're a burner account for isidafo. Got it.
Yep, that's it. Surprise.
All right. This is fun though. Actually, I think it's actually more fun than we get. We haven't been heckled from chat in a while. We should definitely get some chat heckling.
Yeah, why not? Gotta get some good heckling. And winner of marbles makes Charles'
You know
roster.
what, RDT? I think Lap does his like wheel of chat thing. I think we can do this. I don't want to let them make my whole roster. I've got a few things I definitely want to do. Uh, I think we'll let the winner of marbles pick a player that that I'll put on the roster. That sounds reasonable.
It's gonna be Derek Jeter.
Okay, pick a non-Yankee. All right, Frank Robinson. I think that's a fun way to end it. Um, but I'm definitely entering myself in the marbles then. All right, Frank Robinson. This also just feels still understated compared with some of the cards we just mentioned. So I have him behind the tip that just got released. I have him behind Ted by far enough that I'm willing to run Ted in left, although that's a little dicey. But I also think he's quite a bit behind Sherry and McGee. And one of the big bits of value in this card is it's a righty with reverse splits. And I do notice, shockingly, that a lot of righties with reverse splits were released right before a PTMS, in a very right-handed park.
Really?
Weird.
Who could have ever?
But the thing is, if you just compare this directly against Sherry and McGee, who's a righty with reverse splits, McGee's just sort of dominant over this card.
I mean it's definitely worse than Sherry McGee, but I don't think it's a ton worse than Sherry McGee.
No, I think it's the next one behind it. So I don't think this is an F simply because some of the cards in front are expensive. But I think this is a card you never really want to go out and go after except for mission value.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever okay, if you have Sherry McGee, I don't think there's ever a world where you want to play this instead of Sherry McGee.
No, but I think also this is we had a discussion this week about should you go out and buy Tony Gwynn, and a few people were making the case for but Tony Gwynn's a good bat. The problem is Gwynn's partly a marginal upgrade, and it's easy to but just do the following comparison. Look at Gwynn, right? And now look at the card that we just got in Tip O'Neill, just as a direct comparison against Gwynn. If you're going to run both of them as a DH or something, I mean, Tip is just much better.
Yeah, I know.
And if you invested in Gwynn, then that card is now worthless except for mission value.
Yeah,
because if you're investing in him as this is a card I want to be running on my league team.
Probably the other issue for this Frank Robinson in particular is that we know that Al Kaline and Hank Aaron are coming.
Yeah, so he also doesn't play long, but I think even if you're thinking about as I really want a righty with reverse splits who can play corner outfield, yeah, so I don't think there's any reason to really go out and get the card apart from mission value, but I think he's enough of an upgrade that,
He's 800k cheaper than McGee, and I only have him for league at least half a win worse. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a completely unreasonable thing to buy.
Well, McGee's a lot more valuable as a tournament card because you can run him 8 times a week in tournaments.
Yeah, the dead ball stuff is very valuable.
Yeah, the fact that there are 8 dead ball tournaments a week really helps. And I really hate this kind of reverse split because I know the manager's going to misuse it. But I'm thinking let's give him maybe a D. I mean, he's not quite an F because he does have a little bit of meta value.
I think he's probably a C. I mean, he plays at the moment for not McGee people, so I don't know.
I think I would just run Ted and left.
Then you're D. I mean, or if you want to do that, you're probably DHing either Tip O'Neill or Miguel Cabrera, who are more expensive than this.
Or you DH Gehrig. DH Ruth, actually.
Oh, okay.
Ruth's a much...
Well, okay. I mean, you flip Ruth and Williams if you're going to do that, but...
yeah.
I think this is much better in left field than Ruth is.
All right, we'll give him a C. Okay, Dwight Gooden.
The card is fine, but
can you just explain to me how 8.5 Ks per 9 gets you 106 stuff in 1985? Okay, same year
Yeah.
when John Tudor, who was, what was it, 5.8, I think it was, 5.6, gets 98 stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this 1985 Gooden is, along with probably like 1999, 2000 Pager, are like the best pitching seasons of the modern era.
Yeah.
Uh,
And this card is just like missing 70 points of stuff.
I okay. Then the card itself is fine. It's like a third tier starter. It's similar to like the worst Satchel Paige or something. But
I have it as a little better than that. I have it as like more like almost a Ray Brown level
I
option.
have it. Yeah, I have it somewhere. I
So
guess so for league.
between the two Satchel pages.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, right? But this is the thing
Yeah,
is that now this isn't actually even a top five non-limited starting pitcher
no.
anymore. It's number 6.
Yeah.
So
And it's
I,
just
I,
historically it's just a really disappointing card. So
yeah,
I feel like I want to just give it a D for disappointing.
yeah, that's probably fair. I mean, this is really kind of a shame because 1985 good in this is very, very, very good season.
No, Tudor is not a one-day card. Tudor was released as a July 4th celebration along with Giambi, but Tudor's in packs.
Yeah, Tudor's a permanent packable. Uh,
And how much is I assume cheaper than Doc at this point?
he
Yeah,
is about
significantly cheaper than
175, I
Doc.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Um. Oh,
Yeah,
and then we
yeah,
gotta
Mr. Black. I think the
talk.
Tudor stuff is like a on 1 month, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's still 1985. Dwight Gooden getting released and not being like a top five starting pitcher on release is just wrong somehow. Like that doesn't make sense.
It is disappointing, and we're giving it a
Yeah,
D for being disappointing.
yeah.
Harvey Haddix. Why is this?
Okay, so here's kind of a fun question:
Is he a
Is
lefty
this better?
specialist?
Is this better, or is Tom Glavine better?
What's behind door number 3?
Uh, a goat.
I'll take the Pedro.
Okay, fair enough. Um, yeah, this card's really bad. Um,
Well, this one's really bad too. I mean, this Haddix. Okay, so theory crafting a little bit. If I were guaranteed to get a very lefty heavy matchup playing opener games, and I knew that my opponents were all AFK for the whole tournament.
no, still no.
No, no. Actually, is this? I mean, this card. The problem is this card's not that much better than John Donaldson in a like cap tournament. Sorry, I mean, as a pitcher in a cap tournament, right? Because you're going to get him against a lot of righties, but Donaldson's a two-way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Harvey Harris was not per one game. He scored for 12/13 of one game, to be precise. Um, but um,
Well, and this card gets most of an A. We're just going to omit the bar on the right.
the other thing is that actually there's an 82 Harvey Haydix, which people played a lot at the start of the cycle. This one has worse pitcher BABIP and control than the 82. So in dead ball, you'd actually prefer to run a launch 82 over just release perfect. It's
Yeah, no,
amazing.
absolutely you would. And it's not as splitty.
No, it's yeah.
Does this get a minus? I mean,
I don't know. It's not great.
probably does actually. I'm trying to figure out.
Anyone else hear Morse code? Yeah, there's something beeping outside. I apologize for that. I wish I could stop it too. Some kind of construction vehicle or something.
The person across the street is trying to warn all of our viewers that. I mean, it's as splitty as the Candelaria, which is an interesting card for low diamond, and there's just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Hayes was an 82, I'd be pretty interested in it. A 92, I'd be pretty interested in it.
All right. All right. Let's go on to Kevin Brown. This is clearly a better card than the Doc Gooden on release. Not this card. This card.
Yes,
This Kevin Brown.
I learned I learned yesterday that Kevin Brown's third best season was better than Dwight Gooden's like all-time great season. So that was pretty fun. I didn't know that before.
Yeah, well, no, Brown does well and then just eventually hits a wall.
Hmm. That's fair enough.
Um, Look, this is the best starter released in this bunch. Um,
Well, except for the one at the bottom.
Sorry, this in the Immortal set. Yeah, sorry. Yes, this is the best starter released in this Immortal set. I mean,
Yes, oh, absolutely.
um, is it an absolute must-have? I think it's at the top of a pretty crowded group of similar cards. You
So I
know,
have this. I mean, I have basically like so my starting pitcher for league. My starting pitcher is like Pedro, giant gaping chasm, Warren Spahn,
yep,
then a gap, and
smaller
then
chasm.
Saberhagen. Yes, then Saberhagen, Kluber, Brown, Hilton, Smith, close. Then a little gap. Page, Ray Brown, Goodness kind of between. Then a gap.
I've got
Page, Dion.
something very similar, except that I have Brown at the very top of that tight group.
Yeah, I mean, I have them. I think I have Smith a little behind, and then Saberhagen, Kluber, and Brown basically all tied. I mean, it's
Yep,
like 0.02 or something.
yep.
Um, yeah, Brown's really good. He's also to be air eligible because for some reason they chose his third best season for this.
Yep.
Um, so that's pretty nice, actually, the O to be air eligibility. Um, yeah, really good card.
Yeah. It's at least an A. Is it an S tier card? I mean, it's probably in a similar group, right? So maybe it's just a solid A. What do you think?
It depends if we think the eligibility is enough to get an S, I think, because like that eligibility is really good. Um,
Uh,
um,
yeah, actually, that may be right. That the eligibility maybe pushes him over the top. Maybe this is an S tier card because of all the tournaments he plays in.
yeah, I think he plays in a
All
lot
right.
of stuff.
Let's give him an S.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, it's somewhere borderline there. I'm happy to give him an S in the same way that I think like the dead ball guys like McGee get bumped up for that a bit, or Tip O'Neill, that
Yeah,
bumps him up a bit.
that's true. We didn't mention that for Tip O'Neill. He is the best dead ball card by a mile.
Yeah, and that's why I think the ceiling for where O'Neill could be is like an S plus, depending on what's hidden behind that BABIP rating.
Yeah, but even with the what's printed, he's the best by a mile for dead ball.
Yeah, yeah, the shape's great. Um, and there aren't too many cards that could knock him out. Maybe there'll be like a Duffy or something that'll come down the pike.
Hi,
Cobb, Hornsby, but Cobb's really going to be a center fielder, not a left fielder.
yeah, would be a center field, right field usually.
Um, all right. I guess we got to talk about Pee Wee Reese, don't we?
Yep.
No, not this Pee Wee. The very similar looking. All right.
Yeah, the almost identical Red Mets 700.
So I actually do like this card a little more than you do, I think. I'm guessing.
I mean, I don't hate it. Hate it.
The problem is my shortstop rankings at the moment are basically like Rizzuto, Hannes, and A-Rod, like in some order that depends a little bit on league versus tournament and your park,
Yep.
and then like a 4 or 5 war gap, and then you're talking about like another cluster of like Pee Wee, Banks, Yount, Appling.
Yeah, I have Monty Ward in the top group for the league. So for league, at least I have Rizzuto the first by like a huge amount. But in any of them, Reese is just, I think, kind of worse than Tulo. I don't think he's ever better than Tulo in anything. So the card just doesn't play then, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so the
kind of it,
reason
right?
that I'm willing to give Reese a look at least is just the difference in eye. So Tulo, I like the glove better, of course. The 70 eye on Tulo, you know how much I like players that can walk. this is a player that walks. That's that's the only reason my model kind of is willing to look at it. It's the same reason it's the same reason that I liked Bancroft probably longer than a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean it's better than Bancroft, I think, but that's not saying much at this point.
No, this is definitely a better card than Bancroft. But I just don't think it's anywhere close to these others. So I think it probably still
No,
ends up being an F. But it's not one of the worst Fs. It's just
no. I mean, especially when you have Aparicio and Tulo that cost like not much at this point.
yeah.
And even Ward is pretty cheap and has. I mean, Ward for tournaments is like so much better. Um, yeah, for caps, I mean.
All right, and I have actually never looked at this Tiant.
Okay, well,
This is the first time I am seeing it.
Or not seeing it, as the case may be.
Or not seeing as the case may be. Okay, well, I like the reverse splits. I assume that if I had a chance to see the card art, there would be, here's one of these alumni cards, so I probably would like
Yeah.
the card art.
Yeah, card art's nice.
Let me output the ratings just to be able to take a quick look, but I'm not.
I mean, I can.
The quick eye test. I am not optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can say where I got him a little bit while you're still getting it set up. But so for League, I have him sort of in the group of starters, beginning with the Negro League Satchel Paige. So that includes that card, Tiant, John Tudor, and CC Sabathia.
That's about by eye what I was going to say. I think he's just going to be, outside the meta. Okay, yeah. Now I ran him. Yeah, I've actually got him almost exactly where you said.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible card, but it's certainly not a card that you should go out and spend a lot of points for.
Well, I don't think he plays in a full league build.
He would be a bullpen consideration.
I think now, so I think right now there are 4 players listed as relievers that you play in a full league build, like Koji, Raleigh, Andrew Miller, Billy Wagner.
Probably even Hoffman.
Hoffman's kind of fringy, but at least those 4 I think you must.
Yeah, those 4 you got it. Yeah, that's 4.
And so I think Tiant's probably not quite top 8 if you kind of have just about everything, but he's not far off from that.
Yeah, he's playable. I mean, you can rotate. You rotate. There's.
If you're rotating your staff, he's in the rotation for sure.
Yeah, so I mean the card's okay. Like it's. I guess if we're giving good in Adidas, it has to be enough though, because it's worse.
Yeah, I think it's just not playable on release.
Yeah, that's probably where it comes down.
I mean, is there a case that you? No, because you just never buy it because it's not even in a spotlight pack, so it's never going to be cheap.
Not yet. I mean, the sort of surprisingly, the Saberhagen was yesterday. And Fingers. And
I guess because Saberhagen ended up in a mission or something. Is that what it was?
Yeah, there was that mission which had I think 14 or 15 perfects. Where you just
yeah.
lost
So
one.
because he was in the mission, he was in the spotlight.
Yep.
So I think unless he's in a spotlight, you just never buy this card over the cheaper options that are at least as good.
Yep.
Okay. All right. See, we're making good progress. See, Mr. Rowlett, the thing is that my model actually kind of likes Reese because he walks.
Yeah, I mean, it is still fairly amazing that this is a shortstop with what 110 eye
it's
and
a shortstop with
range,
a ton of eye and a ton of range who I don't like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive actually.
Well, because look, this is. I mean, I know that there are people who. It's funny because I've seen on some of the official streams that people do make reference to like the way that I value cards. And one of the things that I kind of find funny in that is they don't understand how we're valuing cards. It is not actually the case that if you just stick defense and eye on a card, my model will automatically like it.
Right. Most of the time it will, but yeah, not always.
Most of the time it will, because those are efficient things to stick on a card. They're things that are
Right.
undervalued in the overall rating. But yeah, you can.
You can do it. It's possible. It's happened.
Yeah, and in the same way that you can build a card like Tip O'Neill that really doesn't have eye, that my model will like a lot, because
Yeah.
the card has a ton of stats in all the other places, and when you add them up, it's a really good card.
On the other hand, if you have third base defense, I will not even look at you. No, I'm kidding.
All
um,
right, Phil Rizzuto. He's just an excellent defensive shortstop that has a real bat.
yeah, this is an interesting card because I think for League this is an S plus.
I think for League it's an S plus, and for tournaments,
It's like an A.
it ends up being a little weaker, but I think the fact that it just is an absolute top of the league meta card probably just still makes it an S plus.
Probably. I mean, I
like,
have this as like a huge amount better than the other shortstops.
yeah, I think this is. I think it's going to be a little park dependent, but I think in a lot of builds he will be, and that's enough that this is just a great card, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think actually pretty much every build, like even if you have some super power park, like you still just want this. Yeah, really, really good card. Just much less good for tournaments. The other thing I'll say about Rizzuto is it is a bit of a risky buy, because if there is ever a better shortstop, it is immediately worthless.
Because he only plays one position, and yeah, one thing to keep in mind is, there are better historical shortstops that you could easily make a card that has this shape and more stats that would be better than. I mean, for one thing, we've had basically not much in the way of like big Ozzie Smiths this cycle. I could easily see an Ozzie Smith that is both better than this defensively and has kind of the same shape and just dominates this card.
Yeah, Ozzie Smith is definitely an option. I mean, sure, there's other ones. I'm not thinking off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are other options too that we haven't. I guess that Honus is not a peak Honus. We can get the peak Honus at some
You get
point.
Hannes, but there are also there are a few dead ball guys that I think you could
Yeah,
definitely
Jack
make a
Glasscock
case.
has gotten good cards at various points in the past.
I could see like a George Wright being, because you can almost decide
true.
how you want. You could almost decide what ratings you want to put on a George
George
Wright
Wright
card.
pitched also, I think, didn't he? Or am I mixing up with someone?
I think he might have done a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's definitely other options. But as it stands, I mean, at this exact moment,
yeah, so I think this
very
is an S
strong.
plus.
It is, I guess, worth noting that the Immortals topper we know about, that's the shortstop, Joe Sewell, should also have third base. So even if he's really, really good, you can still play Rizzuto. It's not like he locked Rizzuto out.
Yeah. All right. Well, of course, there's a gloss as well at third.
Yes, that should have first, but yeah.
All right. So Gabby Hartnett. Stop me if you've heard this before. We've got a righty with power and big reverse splits released right before the PTMS.
Except he can't play in it. But
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. He's after. Okay, sorry. That's right. This is. I think this just jumps to the top of the catcher rankings.
So I have this. I think this is very similar to Carter VL, but then VR is actually a real bat now.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have this as basically, yeah, similar to Carter one way, but like 4 wins better overall because there are a lot of righties.
Yeah. So I mean, I think basically, if you get this, you platoon this and Carter everywhere to keep the fatigue.
Yeah, and there'll only be 4 of them, but it's gonna be
Yep.
4 excellent cards. I think this is just an S plus. I think pretty clearly.
Yeah, this is. I think actually for purely League, I would rather own Rizzuto than Hartnett, like right now.
I agree with you in part, and I also think that this is a card where maybe for like some tournament eras, I'm going to play even a card like Gibson instead, because catcher ability is sort of a weird thing the way it goes to earlier eras. So
Yeah, that's true, Mr. Black. I mean, like for buying
yeah.
it, but yeah. No, the thing with Hartnett actually with catchers, unlike catchers are a bit different than all the other positions because you will always need 2 of them. And shortstop, for example, you don't always need two of them.
Yeah, so I think at least for that reason, it's a little safer.
Yeah, it's safe. It's definitely a
Um,
safer card to buy, but I think at the moment it is for League slightly worse.
but I think that's clear. And then Pedro, I mean,
How many pluses are we allowed to give him?
yeah, this is going to be the best card in the game by quite a bit on release. We can give him a couple pluses, maybe. Is that?
So actually, I want to talk a little bit about Pedro because I think it's interesting, which is that I think this is the first card where we can be pretty confident saying that this will play until the end of the cycle. Um, because it's actually basically maxed out. Like there really is not a lot more ratings you can give to a card.
I still don't completely look. I think you can always decide to change the scale. Um, I will say it's an interesting decision having exactly two peak Pedros in the game. I don't think that's a popular choice in the same way that, a lot of this is just you want to have fun playing with historical players. And, I didn't like that I didn't get to play with a Ken Griffey this cycle. Only two people are going to get to play with a peak Pedro this
Oh,
cycle.
at most two people.
You're getting both, huh? I forgot
That
about that.
I'm gonna certainly try. No, but
If you get both, would you rather sell it for like 10 million points or sell it for 20,000 points so that nobody else ever gets to run one?
I certainly wouldn't sell for 10 mil. Um, it would take a very large offer to get me to sell a second Pedro if I got to. A very large offer.
I'll give you 69K.
Might be a little light there.
I'll throw in
If you give
420. Throw in
if
420.
you give me 69,000, I'd think about it.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean this card is very very strong. It's OTP eligible also because 1999. Yeah, Gabugo Luigi, I think actually the right thing to do if you win two Pedros is to not sell the other one because the advantage you get from being the only one with Pedro is more than however many points you could possibly be given for Pedro. But I don't know if that's
No. The
actually
right
what
thing
you
to
do.
do with Pedro, if you have both of them, is you play both of them.
Uh, I don't know if we want to talk about that here.
You abuse the cooldowns in League.
Yeah, that's what I
Right?
mean. I
Yeah. Fair enough.
yeah, Mr. Black. The thing is that if you have Pedro and no one else has Pedro, you are going into every tournament like 5 wins better than the next best team.
Right.
So
I will say the one unfortunate thing about this Pedro is he's in kind of that gap between eras where he plays in a lot fewer tournaments than you'd like.
no, he's
But
99, so he's fine. He's OTP era.
oh, is he 90? He's 99. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's everything. Yeah, there's a lot of exploits you can do, Mr. Audit, to get around the stuff, but I don't think we really want to talk about those.
Uh, we're on a bug holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I think we've made it sort of to the end of the stream. So I think we did promise. Well, first off, while I'm setting this up, let me check in on our imperfect draft.
Oh yeah,
See how our three-man rotation is doing. Well, I like the fact that we're not eliminated yet, although it may have fired pretty recently.
that's true. Yeah, the thing is, I don't even know that I'd call those kinds of things bugs because they've been in the game forever and like I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just that it's exploitable.
We well,
yeah.
we won a game. That's good. We
Oh,
we're 1-2. But our bullpen is well rested.
or something like that.
Well, our bullpen is rested.
We do have a starting pitcher. I think is going to start on like 40 stamina. So that's fine.
What's the worst that could happen?
We want marbles. No, we can do marbles.
All right, no. I am gonna get the marble. I am working on setting up the marbles in the background while we do this. I am actually trying to figure out how to get the marbles things launched and all that. After which we can let the winner put a player on my PTMS roster. That's what we decided.
We can
Right?
get 0 runs and we lost, so that's actually pretty funny. We should have left McGinn in. That's clearly the answer.
Why does marbles on stream still say launching? Is there something I was supposed to click through, or is it just being slow? One of the things I've discovered this week is that I need to get myself a new computer. It's about time. So it may be that I have to restart a couple things in order to get the marbles to work. But I am actually working on it. Oh, I see. Apparently there is a Marbles on Stream update that I have to download and patch before I can run Marbles on Stream. So I should have done that in the background, but I am working on it now.
Okay.
I think there's only one tournament player I could think of that would realistically buy Pedro. The rest are league players. That's true. So you could sell it to somebody who doesn't play tournaments.
Yes. That is true. I think that would be the only way you'd want to sell it. But it really we really have to be pretty confident this person is going to actually play 0 tournaments.
I promise I won't play very many tournaments.
I will give anyone as many points as I have for Pedro, which is not enough, but
well, I'm going to bid 20,001 just to be optimistic.
I'm sure you'll get him for that.
Yeah,
someone will misclick, and then you'll get him.
You never know if you don't try, right?
But currently, there's no bids up for any PTMS cards, so you could have the top bid right now.
So you should put the top bid up just in case. You never know.
Some kind of glitch ends up in a pack. Someone gets one, sells them to you.
All right, I think I got the marbles thing worked out. Let's see if we can make this work. So what do I have to do? I have to go to race. Viewer choice. We can vote for the map. We'll run a marbles, and then we'll deal with the PTMS thing.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. We can vote for our. We'll do this, and then we'll get over to EVC.
All right.
It's just
total judging on names. Really, just I don't know any of these. So what's good?
Oh, hold on. I have to. Oh, we forgot to do a TWIP draft. I forgot to enter that. I'll have to do it next time.
Oh well.
Next time.
What the heck is this marbles thing? That's a very good question. We're not entirely sure either. At least judging by our first attempt.
Our viewers have decided that we should do marbles, and the winner is going to put a card on our PTMS roster.
I like everyone will die. I'm happy with everyone will die. That sounds
all right. Everyone will die does sound.
No, I thought that name. That was the description. Yes. Yeah, I like that. Everyone will die.
All right, but it looks like House of Pain looks like the winner.
House of Pain, all
right.
Okay.
I'm just looking at what it says. The viewer choices, right?
Sure. House of Pain. It is. Let's do it.
All right. You're gonna play House of Pain.
Yeah.
House of Pain.
If everyone dies, then you go a man short. Yes.
If everyone dies, then what?
You go a man short for the PTMS.
All right. You know what? Should we go with everyone dies?
No, this is the winner. We got 5 votes.
All right.
No, you gotta,
Okay.
follow the popular will. We can always do another one too.
We could always do another one if we don't like the result of the first one. Yes. But I am definitely joining in this.
Oh, we got a
definitely
big
joining in
race. A lot
this.
of people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a clearly it's a very good incentive we offered.
We should have been doing this instead of the whole, yeah. All right. Is everyone in who wants to be in the race? We have 16 entries. I got in. I see Isidafo. You got in. We'll give everyone another, 10 seconds or something. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Oh, except there's a countdown from 10, following which we will actually be off. I swear I'll eventually figure this out. What was I supposed to do? I hit 1 to follow whoever's in the lead?
I think that was it. Though it doesn't seem to actually stay with that person. It doesn't even stay with the lead. It stays with the
It
person.
stays the person. Okay, so I'll have to hit it on a regular basis.
Yes. That was close.
All right, I'm rooting for
I'm way in the back. Snailman is in the lead now.
Snailman in the lead. No, hold on. Mr. Audit takes the lead.
Wow,
Was
everyone
this
else
the
is
track
just
that
stuck
he
back
argued
there.
for? Because I'm thinking there's this may be a little rigged.
Uh-huh. Probably,
This
yeah.
might be a little bit rigged. Well, hold on. I was in the lead for a moment.
This is close. This is a close race right now.
Circling the drain now.
RDT is taking the lead.
Nope. Wait, hold on. RDT got rejected.
Here comes. You're ahead of me. Oh yeah, there we go.
Mr. Audit back in the lead. Well, no. No, here comes Grabster.
Oh!
Wait.
Yeah, you got it. No.
Mr. Audit. Hold on. Warbot's in second, though. I'm coming for you. Oh, I came in second. Does that mean I get to choose my... I guess I don't.
All right, Mr. Audit is the winner.
But I did come in
Is that a preview of
second.
tomorrow? Is that what we're saying?
What?
This is a preview of tomorrow. Can you guys meet in the finals?
Could
Is it
be
possible?
Mr. Audit over Warbot in the finals.
I'm curious if it's
Burner
possible.
Guy coming in third. I would say, though, that was not nearly as entertaining as a map called Everybody Dies. Just no.
Well, it wasn't called Everyone Dies. It was described as Everyone Dies. The baseball team and the mediocres would meet in the quarterfinals if they continue to win. So
Yes. All right. Well,
I think you should use Call to Pedro. That's clearly the answer. You want Pedro, you play Pedro.
want Pedro, play Pedro. All right. Well,
Now the AI really likes him as a starting pitcher, so that could be interesting.
we could run him as a starter. I mean, he is a starter, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. The winner in any event is Mr. Audit. Congratulations to Mr. Audit.
See, Gabagool Luigi, you could play Bobby Dorr. The problem is I don't think anyone actually has. I strongly suspect there are 0 Bobby Doors in existence.
Well, okay, hold on. You know what? If you want to play Bobby Dorr, I've got a choice pack. Let me open a choice pack, and
You
let
might get
us
the
see.
first Bobby Dorr.
Let us
It might be
see if we can pull the first Bobby Dorr in PT history.
It might be the rarest card in the game, even rarer than Pedro. I did take a card yesterday out of a choice pack with the 0L10, which is a 91 Lou Whitaker. So I don't know if it's the only one, but there is one in existence now, at least.
Oh, I forgot. I'm looking at the spreadsheet. We forgot to scroll down and show people that we are, in fact, going to give Pedro our S++. All right, so...
I didn't even take my Bobby Dorr team.
Well done with the marbles. We are going to throw back one more shot real quick. before we raid EVC, we will take a quick shot at building a PTMS roster. As I promised, let's see, PTMS Tournament 1, here we go. So let's build ourselves a roster here.
Okay.
As you can see, I need help building a roster. But first off, did we get a Bobby Door? All right, we could, in fact, take a Bobby Door if we want a Bobby Door.
It may well be the only Bobby Door. There is a Babe Ruth here.
There is a Babe Ruth here. However,
slightly better.
Babe Ruth is no Bobby Door.
There's Roy Campanella, who probably still sells for a lot, I'm guessing.
Probably still sells for a lot, but he's no Bobby Door.
I'm curious, has anyone actually seen a Bobby Door, like, not in the card shop? Because I have not.
I've seen
I
one in a draft.
Okay, I mean, yeah, not in a draft either. In a tournament or league, I guess, really. I have a bunch of open data, and I don't have one, like, from way back at the start of the cycle. You made the watch list. Well, that's pretty good. That's probably about as good as he's going to do.
How much would you give me for a Bobby Door? I can pull one.
I don't think he even plays on the Red Sox team right now. See, okay, but it does actually kind of illustrate the problem with choice packs really well, right? Because like if let's say Mr. Otis team actually did want Bobby Door, you'd have to be willing to pay Babe Ruth's price for him.
Pretty much.
So.
But I like theme teams, so if you want a Bobby Door, I'll do it. If you want to give me 200K, I'll give you a Bobby Door for 200. How about that? I'm sure I could get more for the Ruth, but like, you know.
Well, see, this is the thing, that actually Bobby Door may be rarer than Pedro. So he's clearly worth more. Just run the bronze. The bronze is just about as good.
In any event, we got to build a theme team here. We got to build a team for the PTMS. Let me only go to eligible players.
Okay, so the theme...
I need to put a roster in for the PTMS.
So what's our theme here? Like players who were Pedro's teammates or something? I don't know.
Mr. Audit, you get to decide what theme are we putting in for the PTMS.
Bad cards. This is a bad cards theme. Okay, go buy a Dolph Camilli.
Dolph? No, I'm not gonna. I can't buy one for this. You can see I'm out of points.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, I could run Tony Gwynn. Should I run Tony Gwynn?
Okay, actually, that'd be kind of funny. What is? Like,
actually, no. All right, no, that's fair. I'll run Dolph. I'll run Dolph.
Okay.
All right.
I'll run Dolph.
We'll run Dolph.
There he is.
I don't have a Lou Whitaker.
I see. I have the 91 Lou Whitaker.
Oh, is there a 91? I don't have the 91 Lou.
It has a 0 L10. So I took one yesterday because why not?
Gold Hank Aaron. All right, we'll run Gold Hank Aaron.
Okay, Gold Hank Aaron.
Sure. He's 81. 81. All right.
This is crowdsourcing, right? I've heard that's good. Like,
yeah, that's what I've heard. Anyone else?
I'm trying to think what would be a good card for PTMS. Card that I've never.
Dick Whitworth. I don't know what that card looks like at all.
It's an 80 pitcher. It'll actually see play probably.
Dick. Do I not have a Dick Whitworth?
It's like a 2K card. It's cheap.
I don't know if I want to buy a. I don't know if I want to buy a card for PTMS. I mean, that feels like a bit. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to put up.
He does play catcher.
I am going to beat the current offer on this card.
Wow, 1,002.
If anyone wants to sell me a Dick Whitworth, then sure, we'll stick him on. But you know, I'm not made of points here.
Yeah.
Catcher. All right. Let's see catchers.
Who's a good catcher for this thing?
Who's a good catcher for this thing? Well,
there's only 280s, so we could save points against the cap by putting them on.
all right. Let's run. Let's run them. So we'll run Parada and who's the other?
Live Jonah Heim.
All right. You think we should run a live in this?
Yeah, why not? Lives are great, right?
All
Yeah,
right.
lives are eligible. Lives are eligible.
All right. Jonah Heim. All right.
Yep.
That works.
We're saving some cap points.
Well,
Tight cap,
first place, we're playing Dolph. We already figured that out.
Yep, we're playing Dolph at first.
Second.
We could play Charlie Gehringer at second.
I don't have a Gehringer yet.
No, the other one. You don't have the other one either?
Oh, what is the other one?
Oh, you don't have it either. That doesn't work. It's a 95.
Ooh, no. You know who we could play at second? There's that gold Jackie.
Oh, yeah, that's a good card.
That's a good card. I mean, you never know till you try it.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Third base.
Oh, you know what? We made a big mistake at catcher.
Yeah?
I'm sorry. We should play Yogi Berra.
Okay, I don't have a Yogi. However, I'm curious what he costs.
Big mistake at catcher. That's clearly the right answer.
I can't afford him.
Wow, he's so cheap. 50K. Wow, that's...
I can't afford Yogi.
How has no one bought that yet? He's
third
limited,
base.
too.
All right, someone give me a third baseman. How many guys named Bob do we have? Can we make a Bob team?
Maybe. Bob or Bobby. Yeah, there's some Bobs. Bob Tewksbury. It's an
Ooh,
80.
there's a lot of Bobs in this.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Does Boob count? Is he an honorary Bob? He's close.
All right. Let's see. Okay, I can only play one of the Bob Allisons. We can play Boom Boom's sort of a Bob.
Yeah, Boom Boom
Bob
is close to
Serve,
Bob.
Bob Feller, Bobby Griggs.
What about
Howry.
Bobby? Are there Bobbies?
Is it Bobby? I
think
got a
Bobby's
Lemon.
too.
Got a Matthews. We're gonna run out of points pretty soon, though.
Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, Bob Tewksbury. It's an 80. You can play that.
Two bricks and 80. Yeah, yep. Bo. Do we get a Bo as well?
No, Bo is close. Oh, Clemente. Yep, that's true. He's kind of a Bob.
All right, and we could throw in some Roberts, right?
Not enough live cards. Good point. Yeah, we need to find some more live cards.
Sure, we could do. All right, what would be some good lives to throw in here? Live Bryce Harper. That's a clown idea, bro.
Yeah. We're forgetting the park here, I think.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think we got to pick players who are good at Fenway,
Good at Fenway, so no Red Sox.
right? More space centers. Yeah, that's true.
All right, you really.
Or
All right,
Harper.
all right. We'll go Harper.
We're being sold on the
You know
Harper.
what? Actually, why don't we just go with like a B only theme team?
Oh, we could play Shohei. He's a good two-way, right?
You know, ooh. Yeah, he is a two-way player, and two-way players are good in tight caps.
That's what I've heard. Yep.
Live Chris Sale.
Yeah, he's pretty. He's like an 84 or something, I think.
Yeah, oh, he's cheap. He's cheap.
Doesn't have a B though.
He's down to like no, he doesn't have a B, but he's down to like an
Problem.
82. So why not?
Wow, really cheap. Yeah. Lots of stuff.
What do we got?
Exactly.
We got 45 points under the cap for 5 players. So we're doing fine here.
Oh,
What
that's
do we
pretty
need?
good.
We need think like 3 more pitchers.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have the 100 Jim Pearsall? Does anybody have the 100 Jim Pearsall?
I think do. Maybe I pulled one. I think I may have sold it. Did I sell it? No, I didn't sell it. I locked it for some mission. Okay, so I do have one.
Do I have Ben Sheets?
Ben Sheets would be a good. Yeah, Ben Sheets is a good call, right? Because it's a high home run era. So
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a
it
problem.
is. It's a high home run era. How much does Sheets go for? Can I get a Sheets cheaply enough?
40K, amazingly.
There's no. You know what? There are none on the market because everyone has taken all of the sheets. Everyone has taken all of the sheets for the tournament. They got bought up.
Yeah.
Monte Wade, Monte, yeah. You go
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
Monte Wade.
Yeah. That's good.
Good.
He's very. I mean, heard that. I've heard that. That's a good.
I've heard Monte's a good card. You must mean.
Yeah, Monty W even.
Monte W. Yeah. Lamonte.
Yeah.
Lamonte. La means the.
Right.
The Monte. Yeah.
Monty W.
It's the Monte. It's the Monte. Yep.
Oh, way under the cap. This is actually not a tight cap at all. Look at that.
Burner Guy says he's going to lose to. Or is Burner Guy the team playing me in the first? the only Wade, the only Monte.
I wish we could have played the only Nolan.
Burner Guy, are you the team I'm playing in the first round?
Don't look. Cheating.
No cheating. No stream sniping. All right, who is the most appropriate you know what? What do you think about Ross Barnes? I mean, he's a Boston guy.
He has a lot of BABIP and a lot. Look at the turn double play.
Yeah. Oh no, we could run Cool Papa. No. We gotta run. Look he plays 3 positions.
Yeah, he's historical triples modifier.
Yeah. I think we run Davis, right?
Yeah, it also addresses our distinct lack of bunting prowess. So.
Oh, and we got to run Tony Gwynn because everyone's been telling me that card's good.
Yes.
So does that fill out? Whoops.
That's true. We don't have Manny.
Oh, hold on. Do we have him? Hold on. There should be a Manny, right?
There is a Manny. There's a 96 Ramirez. Yeah, we should get him in.
We
forgot Jeter. How could we forget Jeter?
I see. I never bought Jeter in the end. All right, Manny. What's Manny? He's low 90s.
That's true. Toriente also pitched pop-up Bell pitches. Yeah.
Do I have that Manny?
He was good for a little bit.
All these cards I don't have.
Man, you're just slacking out here. Everyone's already picked them up.
Is he worth 6K? He's really not, is he? No, the thing is we need a pitcher. And Manny, he's not a pitcher.
Yeah, maybe he could have been a good pitcher. You never know.
We need a pitcher, and he's got to fit into 2 points. We need a pitcher for no more than 2 points.
What are the 82 pitchers?
No. We have to run Jose Lima.
Oh, of course. Yes, Jose Lima.
How could you not?
Yes.
Oh, and we could run the guy that Lap was saying is just called Isidafo.
Yeah, that's true.
Should we do that?
I haven't owned one.
All right, I'll run Isidafo. Hold on, I gotta drop 2 points from something.
I'll sell you a Manny if you want.
What?
Burner guy who has now revealed himself, I guess, is willing to sell a Manny, but I think the price for Manny is below 4,000. So,
all right, I think we're good. I think I just need we have a 1 point pitcher and we're done.
81 pitcher.
Okay, you know what? This guy's name is Steel Arm. I mean,
yeah, he's a 2-way player even.
It's a 2-way play. All right. I think we have got ourselves a build. Okay, just as a quick reminder, always make sure you export your roster.
Yep. Very important.
PTMS build September 22nd. Always important to export your roster so that you know what you're doing.
Yep.
I think we've got ourselves a
This looks like a winner.
build.
This
All
looks like a
right.
winner to me.
I think it's a winner. You clearly think it's a winner. Well, yeah, exactly. You have to put the date in because that way you can go back and, if anyone thinks it might be a winner, you can make a prediction right here. So I think with that, we can raid into EVC as promised, sort of.
Only an hour late, not bad.
Well, we need to get some help building a roster. I think
Yeah,
this.
we need,
I
we
think
really
this
need
roster is a winner.
Yeah, I do too. This looks great. Like who needs all these new cards? You can just play this.
So, yeah, Mr. I, just do what I do. Just copy Astra's build.
Yeah, it works.
Good luck to everybody playing tomorrow, except those who are playing against us. Thanks everyone for stream. We will see y'all next week.
Yep. Just yeah, I mean, maybe see if we can get EBC to do marbles. I think that's the way to go.
Get EVC to marbles and get them to pick up the bracket challenge. All right. Thanks everyone.
Yeah. Bye.
All right.